Whew. Choked up.
Yeah.
You missed a good joke.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. Actually, no one's watching.
We're done with the jokes. We used them up.
Sorry.
No more jokes.
Too bad.
Sorry. See you next time.
Y'all.
Bye.
There it is. Forced
up.
invasion.
Yeah.
Get my sleeves rolled up because I'm about to do some work, son.
Oh, shit.
What?
Actually, no. Not. I don't like work.
Probably not.
Work.
Work.
Hey, change quality, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
There
you
you go.
tell him who's boss.
I will. I did.
We're good. Glad that worked out for you.
Thanks.
We're coming to you live here from youtube.com/BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Is everyone neveling?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're checking our Nevils.
Oh.
You son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
I don't know much, but I do know that was funny.
Well, that may be all there is to know.
I think it is.
Check us out on twitter.com/BMFcast.
Yeah. Scott, too, wasn't even here for that.
He'll hear it.
He'll hear it someday. Someday.
Every once in a while, I wonder,
Do you?
what's Tom from MySpace up to?
Is
Is he still sitting at a computer looking over his shoulder?
Yes.
all
No, he's sitting on probably $300 or $400 million left over.
Yeah.
This
He
gonna
did
be
get out when the getting was good.
He
didn't
got out super early.
Is this gonna be like a sniff cast again?
Sniffcast. Yes.
If you gotta take care of it, now's the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't sniff this one away.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Whoa, what happened?
Well, I don't know if you listened to No Quarters, but it was kind of film cast for the. It was slash film cast.
That's why for the
Was it?
majority of the
Yeah.
show, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh,
I was super high during that show.
Well, that's good to know.
yeah. Through legally obtained pharmaceuticals.
Oh, yeah, totally. Made
Why
by
you
the government.
actually
Were they?
What?
You actually got it going, man.
Yeah,
What's wrong
don't
with
do
you?
that. You're going to mess up the stream, Chuck.
I'm
You
sorry.
got to put it down to like
I did.
Nokia cell phone.
It is on
quality.
Nokia cell phone. I was just watching it.
And then pause it.
Okay.
Uh huh. See, look, I got you paused right there, all blurry. You're blurry.
Wait, don't you have to run it, or else everyone else gets it?
I'm paused.
He's running it.
It's
He's
it's going out at full steam. I'm only bringing it in at Nokia cell phone quality.
Oh,
Yeah.
man!
So he's-
Computers, how do they work?
I don't know.
He's watching it and watching it.
Yes. I mean, I can watch full quality right here. See, look, there we are. Hi. Real time.
Wow,
Yeah, I know.
It's-
It's amazing.
there you go.
That's how the internet works.
Technology. All right.
Hey,
Hey.
what do you say
What?
we make a podcast this week?
Okay.
Yeah?
Are
This
you
week's
sure?
pretty good.
Are you sure? You positive? You don't want to do that? I don't know.
High pitched noises. Not doing that.
All right.
Uh,
All right.
I don't know. Man, I want to see every movie starring David Shark Freilich now.
Quality live stream content right there.
Isn't it?
What a burger indeed.
So, podcast. I think, yes, now is the time.
Okay. If not now, when?
Here is the place.
Yes. All of this.
I thought you were just getting ready to whip out the guns there.
Got a bad case of Hulkamania.
Oh, no.
Oh, and it's a bad one.
All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey!
BMFcast.
Wow.
Hi.
Hey. What's up?
I don't know. That forced laugh threw me off. It's episode 365 or 265. Fucking shit. I don't know.
Oh my God.
We almost
When are we? Fucking let's start that all over.
Yeah.
Fuck all that. Chuck's like, yeah.
I am awash in jocularity.
I was on a conference call with the worst forced laugh I've ever heard. It was just like, it was like Kitty from 70s Show. It's like, that is awful.
Was it somebody who said, that's so funny?
Pretty much, yeah. Very
That's
much.
hilarious.
Yeah, like they just kind of went, I'm laughing at you.
Yeah,
'cause
we
you're
have a girl
paying-
at our office.
You're paying me money.
You could make the That's Hilarious drinking game out of her because she says it about roughly 835 times a day.
So sorry, everybody.
But I've never
We're
heard her
too
laugh. So, go figure.
Weird.
Yeah, all right. Now let's actually make a podcast. What do you say?
All right.
Cool.
That was dainty as shit.
Little harpsichord riff.
Let me clap. Did you hear that?
I'm not
Hang
sure
on.
we're going to make a podcast today.
Little clap Fauntleroy.
Let me readjust my angle.
I do so enjoy a mild slapping of my own hands together.
Oh, let's play Slaphead.
Oh, goody, goody.
This is my favorite game.
Oh, we should prance and clap and prance and clap. Trill-a-lee-da-dee.
See, I love we're going to do all this, and then we're going to be talking about the movie. We're going to be like, yep, and then this happened.
And then there was a
It
movie.
was all right.
We
I
are
guess.
experiencing rhythmic jocularity. All right.
Technical difficulties.
All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode 265.
Woo! What? That was a
Numbers.
number that has several digits in it.
So,
3 to be specific.
yes, I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
Hi, I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. We come in here and talk about it for the first half. Then, get this, we rate them.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Yeah.
Hooray for Robot.
Robot Jocks.
That's a good movie.
Fucking awesome.
And the bad movies. And stay away, they get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags. This is douchebags after Twilight.
Boo.
Boo indeed.
Don't like it.
Harumph.
So,
Yeah.
we found a movie.
We did. Yeah.
We really did. It's,
We bought a movie.
you know what happens? Every week we find
I know.
one.
David A. Pryor. Remember him?
Oh,
I remember him from a prior movie.
Right.
Deadly Prey. Maybe Killer Workout.
Robocide.
He's back. 1990s Invasion Force.
Yes. Tell me more.
Okay, I will in the form of a plot summary because that's what we usually do.
Okay.
A film crew shooting a movie finds itself battling against terrorists trying to take over a city. That's it.
That is a summary of.
That is mostly what happens.
That is
Yeah.
close.
Someone says that is what's happening in the movie.
So, this movie.
Yes, sir.
This movie opens and we're like, yes, a million times yes, everything that's happening here.
Uh-huh.
There's some sort of soldiers in a camp. They have a lady hostage, and she's dressed like Sheena of the Jungle for some reason. And there's this dude he's on the cover, if you've seen the poster, stalking in and
Two machine guns, one
Yeah.
on each arm.
chucking grenades, blowing up tents. I don't know how she knows which one she's in, but he's blowing up everyone that she's not in.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's trained.
I mean, there's a really good shot where there's an evil guy in the tent where they're like, "Give me the diamond." I'll never give you the diamond. Give me the diamond. And then like he's coming at her with a knife, and it's like this weird kind of reverse zoom shot as he's getting closer to her.
Yeah.
And it's just weird, creepy vibe, and and then it's just like blam, explosions.
Well, yeah. Well, he's
Huts blowing up.
holding this hot poker up to her.
Oh, yeah,
and he's
that's right.
about to touch her, and all of a sudden, cut to outside, and the tent explodes. And we're like, that was a weird poker. We're like, was she made of nitroglycerin? What just happened?
Yep.
Then we realized, no,
No.
the guy's invading the camp.
Yes.
and killing everyone.
Yep.
Sometimes shooting 2 guys next to each other with 1 bullet.
Hey, he's got talent.
Yeah.
Magic bullets.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so he does all this and gets the girl, and he's just about to like.
Well, what happens?
Oh. She gets grabbed first. By
The bad guy grabs the girl outside. And he's like, "All right, you got to give me the diamond, or I'm killing her." And he's like, "You sure you want this?" And he's like, "Yeah, you got to give it to me, or she's dead meat." So of course he tosses him something. He pushes the girl away, and then our hero kind of holds up the diamond and goes, Look at him. And then the guy gets the panic look in his face as, he's holding a grenade in a bag and blows himself the fuck up, basically.
The top half of him explodes.
It's basically the same shot as Wanted Dead or Alive at the very end.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just that, hey, we got a dummy here, and we're blowing this dummy the hell up.
Yeah, and then like this is what 4 or 5 minutes in at most.
Yeah.
and it's like she leans in for like the hero shot kiss, and then he's just like, "Ow! She stepped on my foot," and cut back to like there's film crew all around him, and they're going cut, cut, cut. So yeah, so we've been watching a movie being filmed.
Yes.
Yeah, an awesome movie.
One of those movies where everything's one take.
Yeah, you've ruined everything. How can we fix this? I don't know. Cut from there and close up of the kiss.
Editing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
Acting. We'll have to pick this all up again tomorrow because our quote unquote hero runs off in a tizzy and he's just like, "I can't work like this. Bah, I'm out of here." And she's just like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Yes, and he's just like, "All right, just wrap it for the day. Let's go home, pack it up."
Literally only had to film another 10 seconds.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's all they would have had to do.
They're like at the very end of the movie. They're like, "All right, fine, we'll start over tomorrow." It's like, wait, what? That's not how a movie
Yeah,
works.
no. It's broad daylight. I'll finish this shot.
Yeah.
Well, the grumpy star runs off.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, and then it's just let's go around the set introducing everybody. Mm-hmm. There's is Chuck the who's the
Chuck's right there.
I know
hi.
you're. Oh, hey.
Hi.
Oh,
When'd you
hi.
get here?
I've been here.
So-
I live here.
Huh. Weird.
Do
I
you?
don't remember that happening.
Yeah, no.
No, who's the pyrotechnics guy?
That's Chuck.
That's Chuck. Okay. Yeah, like so there's Chuck the pyrotechnics guy, there's Doug I don't know what the hell Doug does on the set.
Is he like
Everything.
the weapons master.
Sure. Yeah, he's
Okay.
a vet. He's a vet.
Yeah.
And he bums things because he's got a predilection for pretty
likes to
pretty
drink.
young fillies in town that he gives all his money to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then
Whores.
nobody actually wants to know what he means because they're like, "Shut up, Doug."
Yep.
Who else? I don't know. There's a cast of people that are working behind the scenes.
There's Ben, the director.
Ben, the director. Yeah. Then there's
Joni.
Was it Richard, the financier guy who comes in? I don't know.
Jack was the
Jack.
Jack the financier. Okay.
No, Jack was
Jack's the
Jack
money
was
guy.
the Australian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the money guy.
Yeah, it's the money guy.
Yeah.
But like he comes in very shortly, and it's just like he starts berating the Ben, the director. Is just like, "You're behind schedule."
Yeah, we
and-
got 2 hours of daylight. Why'd you call it for the day? Blah blah blah.
Ben's like, "It's not my fault."
Yeah,
Jack's like, "I don't give a shit
Yeah.
whose fault it is. Fix it."
Your actor's a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that he got all bent out of shape because a lady practically half his size stepped on his foot.
Yeah.
Well, he's got sensitive feet.
I guess.
He's got bunions.
Sure.
We didn't know at the time that he was a totally useless person, which we will come to learn in the
Right.
rest of the movie. But that's pretty much all you need is
Yes,
lady stepping on your foot.
The biggest giant dude with muscle bound dude is kind of worthless. At this
Yeah.
point.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just go around the camp and meet everybody, and they're literally living in a camp. I mean, it looks like a Boy Scout getaway.
Yeah.
I think it was.
But yeah, there's this guy cooking, and
There's beer.
there's beer all the time.
Oh, and then they're just playing jokes on each other.
Yeah.
God, they tie one guy to a tree.
I think was he like a stunt guy or something? I don't know.
I don't know who that guy was.
I would hope he's a stunt guy, considering they made him fall on his face twice.
But they tied him to a tree and they were like, "Hey, come here!" He was like, "Come here, Billy."
Come on, Billy.
He runs and gets snapped back, and they're like, "Haha, no, we're just kidding. Come on." He gets up again and snaps back. And the one like naysayer lady throughout the movie, we get an introduction to her because they've like put a fake neck wound on her, and she runs up to Jack. It's like, ah.
Well, that's because Jack had just exited the Joni, or the lady, the star of both the movie in the movie and eventually the movie that we're watching.
Yeah.
He went into her tent and got all creepy and like, hey, baby, why don't we, do it?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
here now. And she's like, no.
Let's get it on.
And then basically he's just like, you know why you have this part, right? Because it's not for your talent.
Nope.
At least not on camera. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's like, get out, you bastard. And that's when he comes out to the,
Yeah.
I don't know, the special effects lady doing the sliced throat bit.
Yeah. She does a good bit of acting for her.
Sure. Yeah.
So right now she's acting better than our actual star of the movie.
Yeah. But that's all a trick.
Of course.
It's just makeup. And
Yeah,
the crew
'cause
like,
you-
ha.
Because you play pranks on the guy who signs your paychecks.
Absolutely. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do.
You pay me, fuck you. I don't know. That seems to be.
That's how it works.
It just seems to be like you film your movie during the day. At night, you drink beer and you fuck around and use the movie props to to fuck with everybody
Shuck,
else who's
that's
not paying
actually how
attention.
movies are made.
That's not how movies are made.
That is.
Nah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Haven't you seen the blooper reels?
I've never seen anyone tied to a tree.
They don't show that part because they might get sued.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, you got a
Fine.
point.
Whatever. Hijinks ensue.
they do.
Yeah.
So, and then it's I don't know, just like it's like all right, I guess we've spent enough time with them. Let's get to this whole invasion force thing,
Which is so awkward.
because I think what Joni, at some point she gets upset again. I think she goes to apologize to Ben, and he's just like, yeah, well, whatever. And she's
Yeah,
like,
she's basically like, listen,
I'm sorry
I
about
messed it up,
everything,
but can't we at least be friends through the end of this shoot so that we can, so it's not a pain, so it doesn't suck.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here, as BJ said, I'm here to be America's next top model.
that's correct. But no, he says, I'm here to make a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a professional.
Yep.
He's
Yeah.
a director.
So he wants to make sure that he's on a hostile working relationship with this girl.
Yep.
Yeah. But so she, for whatever reason, she gets upset by this and goes walking in the woods because that seems like a good idea in every movie ever.
Yep.
Cut to like she looks over to the side and basically sees what's supposed to be guys landing from parachuting in.
It's some guys who have just jumped into the air briefly.
Yeah, it's
And
really
then
just like a guy
fall
that
down.
jumped from like one leg to the other and then kind of to the combat roll.
Yeah.
And then they've like picked up their parachutes like we just landed.
Their parachutes were already on
Yes,
the ground,
they
and they
were.
just go, ugh, and roll over.
For 5 seconds, I thought they were just tumbling. I thought there was just
Yeah,
dudes
I
in the
thought it
wood
was
tumbling around.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they doing?
I guess she sees them because she just kind of has a look where it's like she doesn't really react. She just kind of like is looking over in their general direction.
Yeah.
And it would
Like,
appear.
oh,
She's like, wow, that's weird.
Yeah. Why were those guys tumbling over there?
But then she's doing
acrobats for this movie?
she's doing the creeping through the forest thing.
Right. Yeah, well, she keeps thinking she's being followed because she is being followed by one of the guys. I don't
Jack.
know.
Jack.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, it's Jack.
Yes.
All right.
Because he pops out and he's like, haha, I was chasing you.
Well, they showed like combat boots at first, so I'm like thinking maybe she was being followed by a guy and then he appeared. I don't know. It's a little ambiguous.
But
Anyway.
Jack shows up.
Yes.
Yeah,
She's
either
creeping.
way,
And she's
it's
like,
Jack.
she starts getting faster and faster. Like, oh god, there's someone behind me, and then does the the horror movie cliche of stop at a tree and look around like, oh no, what is it? And Jack pops out of nowhere and goes, hey.
Yeah.
She's like, damn it, Jack, you scared me. He's like, well, I'm sorry about earlier, but maybe we could kind of do what I was talking about earlier. And she's like, oh, drop dead. And right on cue, someone puts a bullet right between his eyes,
Hooray.
Yep.
and he drops dead.
Yes.
And she doesn't quite react to this the way like you'd think someone who just saw somebody shot in the forehead
No.
in front of them would react. She's like,
Well, that's unfortunate, I guess. I kind of
she's
told
like-
him to do it.
I should probably leave.
Yeah, I'll go over here.
Yeah. It is a very just like a very nonplussed reaction to a dude getting shot in the face right next to her.
Yeah.
But then there's some dudes chasing her, kind of shooting at her, sort of,
Yeah.
and she somehow manages to separate one of them and does the whole, like, he's standing there, like, looking around with his gun, and she comes behind with a big stick and conks him on the head, and thankfully takes his gun.
Yes.
Like, every other movie, it'd be like, just conk him on the head and run.
And then just climbs up a tree.
Yeah, but it doesn't look that way. The shot is, like, she runs off
She
to
runs
the
off
left.
screen, yeah.
Right.
And then his buddies come and pick him up, and he's immediately fine. All he needed was their touch.
He's like, oh,
their healing
thanks,
touch.
guys.
And then they run off, and then it pans up, and she's just hanging out in the tree.
She's 3 feet away from them in a bright spotlight.
Yeah. And the guy was laying on the ground prone, face up. So
Yeah,
he
looking right at her.
He probably should have seen her, but no.
He was. I mean, he got hit in the face, so maybe his
He's got blood
vision
in
was
his
a little.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, some dirt.
Could be. But yeah, so they all leave, and
There's
she,
mud in your eye.
and then it's basically like there is a passage of time because it's like it shows some shots where we have to assume she's still in the tree because it's morning, it's early morning, then it's late morning, and then it's midday, and now we go back to the film set, and they're all kind of like, where the hell's Joni? We're all waiting on her. And of
Well,
course-
it's
Well, and
actually
our-
8 a.m.
Yeah, our star is bitching. He's like,
Yes.
"Why'd you have a 5 a.m. call if I'm just going to stand around doing nothing?"
She's like, that's
I
all
don't-
right. I like overtime.
Yeah, my agent likes overtime. My manager likes overtime.
I like overtime. Overtime.
No.
Bye.
Yeah, and then somebody kind of basically comes up and is like, "Hey Ben, got some bad news, and can we kind of sneak off to the side here?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's Joni. We found her. She's back." And he's like, drag her out to the set. He's like, "Yeah, we need to go talk."
Yeah, it's like she spent the night
Yeah.
in the woods.
in the woods.
And she said Jack's dead. What?
So yeah, they it's weird because like she's hanging out in one of the Boy Scout tents, now drinking a beer. It's just like, I don't know, like you've gone through a traumatic thing. Here,
Have a beer.
Have a beer.
Sure. Calm your nerves.
And they're just, she's just like, yeah, Jack's dead. Some guys killed him, and I don't know why they look like army guys, but I think they were speaking Spanish, which, mind you, will never come up in the course of this movie. No one even attempts a Spanish.
There's not
accent.
a word of Spanish in this movie.
No.
But yeah, he's just like, you don't believe me? And he's like, I don't know if I do, but we should probably go investigate. Get us the prop guns. Oh,
Yeah, it's
give
not just investigate.
Yeah.
He launches a plan of how many live rounds do we have?
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which why they have any? I don't.
Yeah,
know.
because
Target practice.
she's brought back the one machine gun she had.
Yes,
Yeah.
which they have to-
And the props master's like, yeah, man, this is
it's
for
Russian.
live rounds.
Yeah. This is Russian,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean anything. You can buy it anywhere.
but it's totally Russian and real.
Russian
Yeah, but he's like the barrel isn't plugged.
Yeah.
These are real bullets.
in the clip
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're like, go get
or the
Doug,
magazine.
get the real gun, get the real bullets, tell everyone else just to fuck off and not do anything.
Yeah,
It's
just
like
tell them the day's off.
they
Take
got
the
today
day
off.
just having to wait here.
Yeah, but yes, please go get our prop M16s, unplug them, which, if it's that easy to do, doesn't seem like it'd be a very good plug.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they do that and bring us
Yeah.
the live rounds.
And the target practice live rounds.
Yeah.
Now, we should probably mention at this point the bad guy of the movie.
oh, yes.
Because he's shown up because, we've had these paratroopers come in.
Yeah.
Or
There was one scene of
or
him before that.
paratroopers
Right.
come in.
Paratumblers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's been a scene where it's kind of like you've seen all these guys rolling in and setting up camp and doing all this stuff, and their leader appears to be BMFcast alum Richard Lynch
Yes.
of Invasion USA and a few other things, but
Uh-huh.
Invasion USA being the main one.
Sure.
And he's basically answering to some kind of general guy who's like, how are things proceeding? And he's like, you don't need to know shit. I'm Richard Lynch. Shut the fuck up.
How you just portrayed that general guy is 1,000 times more Spanish or Hispanic than that guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he was supposed to be Hispanic. Because he just
yeah, oh, he totally was.
really because
Oh,
he
yeah.
just
He
played
was.
it like he
'Cause-
looked like a regular ass white guy, and he
No.
talked exactly like a regular
they
ass
rubbed a
white guy.
little bit of oil on his face to make him look
Yeah.
look more.
But he was supposed to be the militant leader
Tanned.
of whatever
Yeah.
country we will not actually name in this movie.
Was he?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what Richard Lynch said later.
Did he say it?
And
Okay.
he's trustworthy, so.
All right.
yeah,
But yeah, so
Maybe they just hired a white guy general.
yeah.
well,
But
it's
so-
just
yeah.
it's just one of
Outsourcing.
those things where you've got the leader of the thing, but the real leader is the second in command.
yeah.
Right.
Richard
mercenary.
Lynch clearly has his plan.
Yes.
that might not coincide with this other guy's plan.
Well, to be fair, there is actually one semi-clever shot, which is a kind of a David Pryor staple of like actually kind of doing some clever filmmaking stuff. Because the first shot of the general is he comes out of a tent, and there's like this low shot, like hero shot of him with his kind of ill-fitting uniform.
Yeah.
And Richard Lynch comes pulling in on a car and completely blocks him.
Yes.
So like his entrance hero shot gets blocked by Richard Lynch, and he gets
Yeah.
out of the car.
Yeah.
That's actually clever filmmaking. But
It's all right.
all right, says our expert.
no,
Yes,
I'm with
exactly.
you. I'm with you on
Yeah.
this.
No, it's
yeah,
it's a lot of thought.
Yeah, shut up, Doug.
yeah. But so
that makes
we
me
know
Doug.
that the bad guys are bad because Richard Lynch is their leader.
Yeah, nothing good could come from
Yeah.
Richard Lynch.
Yeah.
Bad guy.
So we've gone back to the movie set where Ben and Joni and Doug and one other guy, I think it's either Robert or Chuck, I'm not sure which we'll keep in mind that most of these people are, the name in the movie is the same name that they're Tony Danzang it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people
because
kind of
they're
look
actually crew members.
Yeah, a lot of people look the same except for Doug because he's bald headed and got a big hillbilly beard.
Yeah, and they give Doug a lot of lines
Right.
throughout the movie.
Doug's got words.
Yeah.
He's got things on his mind.
He doesn't necessarily deliver them well, but
Doug's all right.
He
Doug's
delivers them
all
with
right.
heart.
For,
And
for a craft
conviction.
services guy and transportation captain,
Yeah.
he's all right.
yeah, but Doug's got bald head, giant beard, and that's the only reason we recognize him. But the other guy, we'll just say it's Chuck.
Okay.
Sure.
4 of them,
Yep.
a couple of them got guns, and they're just like, all right, let's figure out what's going on. And she brings them to where she obtained her machine gun earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
And they eventually find, oh, hey, the parachute's here. She's like, see?
But they don't find
Told you.
Jack's body.
Yeah.
No. It's like, well, they must have moved it. I don't know what they did with
They
it, but
ate it.
He absorbed his power.
Yes.
I would not put it past Richard Lynch.
Yeah. But they're basically like, well, Jack's not here, but these parachutes are.
There's 2 of them.
And then all of a sudden the trees start exploding with,
parachutes.
with gunfire. Because they just...
There's a lot of gunfire in quotes in this movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they just start getting shot at. They're just like, oh.
Yeah.
They run off.
They run off, and eventually they come upon the actual camp
Yes.
of all the army guys, of all Richard Lynch's crew.
Right at it.
Yeah.
I mean,
like-
they're not
like-
looking
yeah,
at
like-
it from afar through binoculars. They're
No.
right there.
They're like 20 yards
20,
away.
yeah, 20 feet.
20 yards uphill.
Yes.
And they're just sitting there. They're basically arguing. Like, well, where do you think they're from? What army do you think they are? And who are they? And everything. And eventually, Doug's just like, I think we'll figure out. And they're like, why? And he goes, and they're basically
Points
like,
up.
there's 2 guards basically right there. You get that shot low with them. And you see the barrel of the gun.
And they just nudge them with the
Get up.
barrel.
Get up. Which they do.
Yeah. And then this is like the first of, I think, 3 or 4 times that Ben is just like, haha. And now, granted, there are 2 of them with guns trained on them, and Ben, without any kind of signaling, just jumps one of them and like pushes the gun to the side and tackles him. Right. And the other 3 are basically like, oh, I guess we have to do that too, and tackle the other guy.
They tackle the other guy.
And yes, they're rolling around the ground, and eventually, I guess, disarm them.
Yeah.
Well, no, the
subdue them.
2 guys beat up the one dude
Right. Yeah.
because it's 2-on-1. And she's just kind of standing aside like, whatever. And so Ben, he's down, he's on his back. The guy's pulled out a knife. He's about to stab him. Dude gets shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's Joni holding the machine gun.
Yep.
She's
He
like-
gets shot from the side,
Well,
but she's standing
yeah.
in front of him.
There are a lot of shots of
Yeah.
that angle's not right, but
Yeah.
whatever.
But they have a moment like, oh, you shot him for me. Thank you.
Yeah, she's like, well, you better be glad I'm a good shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're just kind of standing there like, yeah, we won. And they're 20 feet from the fucking camp, and they just
Yeah.
shot
Yeah.
a gun.
The rest of the camp should be running towards you right now, which
Which-
turns out
Which actually happened.
they are.
Well, yes. There would have been a whole bunch of exclamation
Because while,
points.
while they're
Yes.
discussing everything, suddenly, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Trees
things
start exploding
start
around them.
exploding. They run off. And that's when they get to the one area where they're hiding behind another log, and the 6 guys run out into a clearing, and Chuck, I guess, is like, "Hey, see that rocket launcher thing?
That's a Laws rocket."
If we can
Yeah.
shoot the trigger or whatever, they'll all die."
Yeah, it'll blow them all up.
And Doug's like, "I got this."
Yeah. They're like, Doug, you were in the war.
Yes,
They just like,
you were in the war.
the war. He's like, yeah, I was in the shit.
Sure was. Let me do it. So he takes a shot, misses fucking
Misses
everything,
completely.
and all the dudes just go. Whoop.
No, they didn't know exactly where they were, but if he made the shot, he would have blown them all up. But if they
Yeah.
didn't,
They would
they know
give
where
away
they
their
were,
position.
and they did. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they go running, and they eventually find themselves behind another clearing.
Well,
where
yeah.
they're
Well,
hiding.
the guy fires the rocket at him
Yeah.
behind him.
Yeah.
And I think there might have been some real stuff going on here because
ground a little harder than they meant to. Now
Yeah.
it kind of gave way a little bit, like they might have had the little.
It did have some bounce. It looked like,
Yeah.
it might be a fake round, but
it still looked like their face kind of went into the dirt a little bit. But
But this is only the second best rocket launch in the movie, because during their little adventure, the like first assistant director guy who's running everybody at the camp has sent the idiot stuntman person
yeah.
off in a truck to go get the sheriff.
yes, Billy. Or
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
Billy.
And
Billy's on the walkie-talkie
Yeah.
going back and forth.
and he gets to a gate where there's
But before that, Billy's voice. Billy's voice is kind of great. Like, everyone's real country in this movie because it's all shot in Alabama.
Yes.
Yeah.
But him especially is just like the voice doesn't seem like it should be coming out of him.
No.
It's kind of louder and more country than he looks because he's got kind of like the flowing mullet and he's got the single workout glove.
he's kind of like a Muscle Beach guy,
Yeah.
and he
And then
just
it's
gets
just like-
that.
He's like, well, I guess I'm going to go find this. There's a checkpoint up here. You know, it's just like, oh, okay, guy.
Give them Duke boy. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like,
Riding through.
there's a gate, and there's two guys patrolling it,
Reckon I'm going to go check it out.
and dude's like, no, Billy, get out of there, no. And Billy's just like, what? And during the interim of him, like, I'm gonna go check it out, one dude at the gate has produced a rocket launcher, fires it at the truck.
And he gets just enough time to go, oh, no.
Wait, he doesn't even, he's not even that articulate.
Oh no, he goes, oh.
Oh.
That's right. It was, oh.
And they've got this rocket. This rocket clearly just flies through the air on a filament or whatever under the hood of this truck, which then kind of blows up. But it's all a pretty good comical sequence of terrible reaction and mildly decent truck explosion.
Yeah.
And, you know, the guy back at the camp is like, oh no, they killed Billy. Well,
You bastards.
what do we do now? I don't know. Cut away from us. Go somewhere else.
Yeah, back to them running because they find themselves behind another clearing where it's like the enemy knows where they are, but they're not making the move yet because I think Richard Lynch has joined them now.
Yeah.
So they're kind of having like this standoff, and Ben's like, "I tell you what, I'm going to make a run for it and distract them. You guys run back to camp and tell everybody." And Joni's like, "I'm going to go with you," and he's like, "Why?
Yeah.
It only takes one of us to distract them. Go."
Yeah.
So he takes off running before they can argue too much, and everyone else is like, all right, well, they're all chasing him, so let's go.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
And he's just running through the woods as, you know, bad squibs are exploding all around him. And
Yep. More tree explosions.
yeah, eventually he gets tagged in the arm and falls down and, you know, still doesn't get taken then, runs some more.
That arm wound really does him in. Though.
Oh, just, yeah, like
as soon as,
immediately.
as soon as he gets shot, like immediately his entire sleeve is just bloody.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
and it has crippled him
Yes.
immediately.
He also develops a limp of some kind.
Right. The bullet traveled up his arm and then across his body and down his leg.
But I don't know why he's doing this creeping thing. I don't really understand what this move was because like he's creeping like instead of in the full blown run, like he actually he's walking like he's about to sneak up on one of the bad guys.
Yeah.
But doesn't. He just kind of does this flying leap onto a clearing and lands there and rolls around and looks up and there's Joni standing there with the gun.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "I'm here to save you."
Yeah, because you're an idiot. Look
Yeah.
what you just did. You just took a flying leap out of the woods into nothing.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
So I don't know. Somehow they kind of get separated again because he gets captured. Essentially.
yeah.
He gets like, you know, gun butt to the face and she
Well, as
gets
soon
away.
as while they're talking,
Yeah.
somebody comes up and with a gun is like, "All right."
Yep.
And so he
Oh,
tackles
oh,
him
that's right-
again.
that's
and
right, he
says-
does the thing
then
again.
That's when he immediately tackles the guy and says, "Run!"
Yeah.
and then gets gun butt to the face.
Right.
So.
She runs back to the camp. He
Yeah, I don't know. The sequence of what happens here is like everybody basically gets somehow. I don't know what the hell they were doing off in the woods because she gets back like out of breath and she's like, "What about Doug and Chuck or whatever?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, they've been here for like an hour."
been here for an hour because Ben gave him like a directive to go back and was like, "Hey, remember 3 days ago?"
Yeah,
And
set
Chuck's
that
like,
up.
Oh, when we killed everybody? He's like, "Yeah, set that up." So
set up the three amigos.
yeah, so they have been busy for an hour doing that. Now, the best part about all of this to me is that the star of the movie that they were filming, Troy, is dressed like the fucking fancy crocodile hunter at this point. Just just goofy hat and big black shirt and giant boots.
Well, he's got the Outback
Bolo
hat
tie.
on, but
Yeah.
yes, but he's wearing like country western Texas
But it's like
thing.
it's a weird like straw version of the like Outback hat. Yeah. It's
I mean,
strange.
it's just weird.
and he's just bitching. He's just like, "This is stupid. Why are we doing any of this?
Why
We're
don't we
not,
just get out of here?"
We're not a real army." And that's when what's her face runs up and it's like, Well, no, because this is what we're going to do.
Yeah. Is this when she gives her speech of like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she gives a speech of just...
Well, they cut back to like, because it's like, I guess we the audience need motivation. They cut back and they're torturing Ben essentially, which is just Richard Lynch. One guy's holding him in a chair and holding his arm back, and Richard Lynch is just punching the bullet wound, going, "Talk. Who are you?"
Ben!
But
My name is Ben!
I think he had one civil conversation first, where he's basically
Yeah,
like,
well, he starts off. He
Yeah.
basically, because you guys realize like you're in the middle of a military operation.
Yeah.
This is all.
yeah, we're the MIA, the Military Intelligence Agency.
Yeah,
Right,
and
yeah.
we're supposed to be here. You're not.
Yeah. Tell us where you are, and so we can escort you safely out of here.
Yeah, tell us where your people are. So,
yeah. And Ben's like,
I don't know if I can trust
no.
you.
Yeah.
You don't
He's
really have a
like,
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course,
yeah,
that's the general comes in and is just like, we should call this all off. I mean, seriously, these people weren't supposed to be here, and we should call this off. And he's just like, I'll call it off
Yeah.
when I'm goddamn good and ready.
Out of here, General. Stop raining on my parade, General. Yeah,
So he's like, look at yourself and look at me.
Yeah.
the punching doesn't come until after they enact their plan.
Is it? Okay. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I thought it was just like, hey, let's have a quick civil conversation and then cut to, like, Punch, who are you?
No.
Punch, who are you?
They have the civil conversation, then it cuts to the dudes rolling up on
Oh, okay.
them in the camp, and they do their little thing of setting off the squibs and everything and making them think that they are overpowered and have a bunch of guns and everything. And
And they have the fart tank.
yeah, this tank just kind of spits out sparks, and then they
Yeah.
have to plant an explosion somewhere else to make it look like it's doing something.
We see the fart tank in the opening of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And it just like it really just
It's powered by shitty Roman candles.
yeah,
Misfires. Just,
yeah.
just like an asthmatic coughing sparks out of a tube.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they,
I like that. I said it was like kind of like a shitty Triple H. Just I don't know.
yeah, it's the worst spit take ever. It's just water pouring out of your mouth.
So it's a dribble tank.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like a dog that just finished drinking some water and saw a stranger. And I just shook my headphones off.
Well, good job there.
Wow. We'll wait.
I'll fix it. Go ahead.
No, okay.
Way to commit.
You're gonna do sound effects. You got to do it right.
Yeah. So they've Three Amigos them off of their camp.
Right.
And that's why Richard Lynch is so pissed off,
okay.
because he's like, you're lying. It's not a film crew. You have an army out here. What's your name?
Yeah.
Who are you,
Who
Punch?
do you work for? Yeah.
My name is Ben. Just keeps punching him in the arm. Ben at least is doing a good job of noting when he's getting hit to react to, I'm being punched in my bullet wound.
Yeah.
So
But good on him.
But it's just Richard Lynch constantly punching him in the arm. Talk, punch. It's like, ow, fuck, stop.
Who are you?
Like, for real.
I've been
He
at him.
was getting hit for real. That's why his
Oh, yeah.
timing was so good.
Yeah. And then,
because he was literally getting punched in the arm every time.
yeah, because then the general comes in and Richard Lynch is like, I think he's telling the truth. I've been punching him for an hour.
Yeah. His story is consistent.
Yeah, so that's what leads to that. And then back at the camp, they're like, well, we got to go get Ben.
Yeah, we should just get out of here. And
Because, Ben gave his life for all of you, so now let's go get Ben.
Yeah, well, I like that they have this attitude now, but like when when Ben was like, "Get out of here, save yourselves," Doug's like, "All right, well, I guess he's fucked."
Yeah.
Later, Ben. Thanks.
I'm the director now.
Yeah,
I'm craft services and director and guns.
like-
and
but
Carpenter.
He literally says, "Yeah, I guess we can't help him now."
Yeah.
Like half a second after he's like, "Go, run, get out of here."
Ben's
He's like,
fucked.
Yeah, no,
sorry, Ben.
yeah.
That guy's fucked.
He's just a realist.
Yeah. But the best so they're like, yeah, let's go get Ben. And their plan to go get Ben is to basically walk up to the tent that Ben is in on their first attempt and just pull Ben out. And it's like, we've got Ben.
Yeah,
It
that
was,
was
a
easy.
it was a really good plan. It worked.
It was a well executed plan.
Like, it happened so fast, I didn't even understand what was happening. I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what? They've just walked up to their base.
Actually,
and
they just did their plan. How'd that work?
Yeah. So now they have Ben.
Yeah.
Ben's like, hey, thanks. Richard Lynch kept punching me in the arm. Which I don't know if you could tell. I've been shot.
Yeah.
And what's her face ties a bandana around it.
Right. Joni.
Yeah.
Now, didn't she do that
Bandana's
like?
name is Jody.
Yeah. Didn't she do that like
Oh, she was spending too much time tending to his wounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever.
Which she informed. Then it went right through because that's the good gunshot.
Oh,
by
that's
the
the
way.
best gunshot.
Yeah.
It just went right through the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't hit anything.
You're never in any danger of bleeding out when that happens.
No.
No. Just gunshot.
But yeah, they get Ben back. It's like great plan. And also, I love that they cut to that the big muscular dude Troy was there.
Yes.
Like helping.
Yeah.
I don't know why or how, but he was there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Along with knife slit throat girl was there too.
Yes.
Like she had no purpose either.
Who is just the biggest, just wet blanket of this whole thing.
Well,
Just-
she's like the audience. I don't know who she is. She just needs constant reassurance.
yeah. It's just whenever they need a scene, she will walk up to someone on the crew and just say, "Do you think we're going to survive?"
Yeah, are you scared?
And the person's like, "Yeah, we might be okay. I don't know. I've never really been attacked by a guerrilla army before." And she's like, "Oh." And that'll be like the scene, and that happens at least twice.
With that attitude, you won't survive.
Right.
So,
Kathy.
always naysaying. Fuck if I know what happens here.
Yeah.
Now, from this point, it's like,
Ben basically has another plan.
yeah, they get back to the camp, and they're like, yeah, well, those guys are still out there,
Yeah.
and we're still here. Like, what are we going to do? And
And Ben's like, I got a plan. Trust me. And then it's like, hey, audience, fuck you. You don't get to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Just trust Ben.
yeah, and this is also like he has almost started making out with Joni.
Right.
That's when he
Like-
gets his plan.
Yeah, like they've been kind of,
Because they're having a beer party in
it's
the
been
woods.
clear they've been doing the meet cute thing throughout the movie, and
Yeah.
no, eventually they're about to kiss, and that's when he goes, "Oh, I have a plan.
I got it.
I know what we can do."
He just runs back like, "Whoa, what did you get, Ben? Don't share that with everyone." Yeah. And he's just like, "How many rounds do we have?" And they're like, "I don't know, 12." No. How many blanks do we have? 2,000? Why? Who gives a shit? And he's like, "Trust me, wink."
Yeah. So I have a plan. I'm
He
not
actually says
informing. I have a plan. I'm not informing any of you about this.
Yes.
Yes, or the audience.
No. But trust me.
But cut to the next day, and apparently they've completely enacted the plan because for what we're seeing, the plan is like, let's go up to the bad guys and go like,
Poke him with a
hey,
stick.
and then start kind of running away because one by one, all of our people get shot until it's down to Ben and Joni. I'm like, well, I guess it's a good plan if you just
Yeah,
wanted her
we're
to
watching.
live.
We're like, "Oh, Chuck.
Yeah.
he's dead."
Oh,
Doug!
Doug's dead.
Doug!
Oh,
Wow,
no.
they're killing everyone.
Oh no, not
Randy.
Wet Blanket Girl. No.
They all die.
Yeah, we're like, well, I guess it's a good plan if you just wanted her to survive. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, my
Well, yeah,
plan
they're
is
like-
you
they're
all
like-
have to sacrifice yourselves.
I did it for you.
Yeah.
So it's your turn. But yeah, they're just hiding behind the tree, and Dick Lynch is like, all right, time to come out.
Yeah.
And they're just like, all right, hands up. I guess you got us.
Yeah. Well, and as that's happening, the general pops out and is just
Right.
like, I
Hey.
think this is all a terrible idea. I don't like to do this anymore.
We didn't really even explain their plan was to parachute into this place.
Yes.
Find this town that basically had like 2 points of entry.
This
Yes.
was the Gorilla's plan.
The
not-
Gorilla's
not
plan.
Ben's
The-
plan.
yes, the
Yeah.
Gorilla's plan.
Yeah.
And basically take over this town of 12,000 people and hold it hostage.
Yeah,
for
they're going to
money.
take over the power plant and the TV station and the other things that you build in SimCity.
But they basically said like there's like one road that goes in and
Yeah.
out, and there's no way to get in, I guess, except for maybe by air.
Right.
But yes, that was their plan all along.
Yep.
And so basically now at this point that they've come out, they're about to shoot Ben and be like, this is going to work. And he's like, wait a second, last request, can you monologue and tell me your whole evil plan? He's like,
Since you're going to kill me
well,
anyway, might as well tell
let
me.
me
your-
do that. And we were going to take over this town, and it was going to be great, and we were going to, force Congress to give money to this rebel fight in this country that we're still not going to name. Not necessarily, because killing an entire film crew might have the same effect. And he's like, oh yeah? Well, and I think he goes to like shoot him, and the...
Well, don't forget, he's also recognized Joni.
Oh, right. He's like, Joni, what are you doing here?
The CIA's Joni, blah, blah, blah. What brings you here? And Ben's like, wait, what?
And who is this person? Your new partner? He's just like, yeah, he's just a civilian. He's like, well, that seems beneath you. I don't know why he suddenly sounds like this, but he does in my head.
But he also shoots the general.
Right.
Well, yeah, the general pops up and is like, hey, guys, what's going on?
And he's like, well, this general's no longer useful.
Blam.
And now I'm going to shoot you, Ben. Blam. Blam. Blam, blam. And he's like, why aren't you falling down?
I just love his growing rage as he keeps shooting the gun and nothing is happening.
And not only that, one by one, all the people who have died are popping back up.
No. That's afterwards. He gets he keeps walking, or she keeps walking forward and grabs the gun from him, and it's just like blanks. And also, by the way, here's a tape recorder, and we're going to play back what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, you can stand up, and they all one by one they start standing up, and he's like, we have this confession from you, and I think Mackie was the first one to point it out and start to get angry about it. It's like, wait, how did he just shoot the general with blanks?
Well, it's a good 5 minutes that the general is down.
Yeah.
The general, and still down after, everyone has revealed this is all a big ruse.
Yeah, and as soon as the blanks are going off, the guys behind Richard Lynch run away.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The soldiers just fuck it, we're done. So we're just down to Richard Lynch and a bunch of supposedly dead bodies around him.
Right. But even before you started raging about the general being, why is he pretending to be dead? The fact that that we're supposed to believe that they have replaced all of their bullets with blanks.
Yeah. Oh, they're
and have yet to even mention it.
They're going to explain that.
No, I know,
yeah.
but the audience has already realized this, and it's giving us a good 5 to 10 minutes to sit there and go, wait a fucking minute.
Yeah.
No.
Because I said,
dumb.
How did he shoot the general dead with blanks?
Well, you
Because
see,
I
The general had a dodgy
and
heart.
that's
it's like Superman 2. They they were inside, and he
But
switched
that's the genius of this movie is that we've seen so many bad movies
Yeah.
that I was immediately assumed
They
they
fucked up.
just
Yeah.
fucked
They
up
just
and
fucked
they
up,
forgot he can't kill him.
Well, because I think their explanation was the most preposterous. Because when the general pops back up,
because he's like, and like Dick Lynch is like, wait, what about the general? And he's just, he literally does. He goes, pop up. He's like, hi, I'm okay.
Yeah,
And they're like,
And don't they say whoa, we made a deal with them too?
Yeah.
Basically, he's explaining. I think before the general pops up, he's actually like, we snuck into your camp last night, and we switched all your guns with blanks. So that happened, and then we were going to record this, and then he's like,
We replaced your
he's like,
butter with margarine.
it's like, he never has a second shot at home. But then he's like, what about the general then? Because if I had all blanks, and then that's when he pops up and goes, haha, and he's like, well, why did you leave him alive? And they're like, well, we made a deal with him that if we give him this tape, and he can have you, we'll have the confession, he can have you.
yeah.
Now, and then
Also, before any of this plan even started happening, there's a whole sequence of them. They've rigged up the weird Vietnam bamboo shoots in the woods to pop up.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
And just stab 20 dudes with shards of wood in the knees.
those guys didn't get fake deaths.
No,
they got
Those
real
guys
deaths,
got
yeah.
murdered.
I guess they didn't go along with the plan when they snuck
Yeah.
into camp. They were like, okay, fuck these guys, but
Yeah,
you guys
I forgot
over
about
here.
But there's shots 3 dudes take it the knee, one guy takes it directly in the nuts.
Oh,
And then
got hit in
3 or
the
4 in
arteries.
the 3 or 4 in the chest. And,
Yeah.
but then there's just a shot where it's funny because it's happening where it's just it's quick cuts of oh man, all these people are taking these rig traps to whatever body part, and then there's this long shot where they're all 3 feet from each other, just
Yeah, and there's 9 guys laying there dead. Not even.
No.
The first shot is them
the
just
first shot,
right
yeah,
just
yeah.
like, ow.
but they're all really close to each other.
Yeah.
They just set these traps.
They just walked into this 2 by 2 foot zone.
Only guerrilla troopers walk in single file to hide their numbers. But yeah, and then there's a shot where Richard Lynch comes around the corner. It's just and it's just it's the Shining, the scene where there's every massacre here.
Yeah, everyone's dead.
Really, guys, the ticket the knee died. All right.
Yeah, you didn't hit anything. It's just a slight bruising of the knee.
One guy got hit in the arteries.
Yeah.
bled out. But yeah,
that's how they thinned out the herd there.
right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then I don't know. Richard Lynch is all that's really kind of preposterous. But see ya.
His reaction is just to straight up run away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then he's running with his AK-47. He's just like, fuck this.
Yes.
It doesn't mean anything.
No.
Chicago say do nothing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. Ends up by the beach, and we're kind of half expecting him to do the Jason Voorhees out of the water or
Right.
something like that, but he doesn't.
I was really disappointed that he didn't come out of the
because
water.
Ben, who's now a warrior of some sort, is the lead person chasing him.
Yeah.
Why it's not Joni, the CIA agent, but he's gone out on the shore of this little lake or whatever, and then it basically becomes the exact same scene. He turns around and Richard Lynch has Joni by the neck with a knife, and give me the tape or she dies. Well, I'll throw you the tape, but you got to let her go first. And
Yeah, he successfully negotiates her release before getting anything at all, which
And then,
is
throws him the little, mini cassette
tape case.
tape
Yeah.
case, and then like pulls out the tape recorder and hits play on it again, and he looks down at it and flips it over, and it's basically like C4 jammed in the little mini cassette
And he
thing.
goes, Doug,
yeah.
go to work.
Yes, and now Doug is lined up for the marksman shot that he missed earlier, and perfectly hits it, and we get explodey.
Blows Richard Lynch in half.
Yeah,
Because C4 works that way.
Yeah, sure.
You just shoot it and it blows that guy the hell up.
Yep.
yep,
And Ben's like,
Yeah, Doug's
hey,
just-
Joni.
Yeah, and Doug just goes, Deadeye's back.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ben kisses Joni.
And then you hear, cut.
Not
Yeah.
kidding. No, they actually do say it.
You hear cut.
And it's the same as the other scene.
Yep.
Cuts to a film crew. Richard Lynch actually sitting there in a chair watching this scene unfold.
Yep.
And then
and David A. Pryor directing it
Yeah.
all.
Yep.
and then just slow camera pull out.
Yep. While
As they all
the
congregate
pyrotechnics
around.
guys like wrapping everything back up. And
Yep.
yeah, we've been watching a movie within a movie within a movie.
Blah.
And then the credits start rolling.
And that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Movie.
Huh.
Yep.
That's Invasion Force.
Yeah.
It is.
It's goofy as fuck.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun, though.
It is a lot of fun.
Because, I mean, I
Tell
think,
us how much fun it is by giving us a rating.
It's
between
one of those cases, too, like, when you think about it, they probably added that scene after reading the script and going, this is fucking preposterous. Like, this is really stupid.
or the fact that they
Like,
were.
how can we
and
make
the movie's
it
like
work?
the movie's an
as-
hour and 23 minutes. They were like, "What if we do this? We
Yeah.
can pad it at least a minute,
Yeah.
if not 2 or 3." And plus, we'll all,
it feels like
we'll all
the last
get to be
part
in
of
our
the
own
script
movie.
process was, all right, now we just pan out and we're making another movie, and that was a movie inside of a movie.
Uh-huh.
And then there's Invasion Force 2, which is now the movie. It's
Oh.
it's the Scream 2 of Invasion
Oh,
Forces.
Jesus.
How to survive a sequel,
But-
an action sequel.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Like, I would go 3 jocks. There are some genuinely funny stuff. There's one very off-color joke early on that's pretty funny that one of the crew guys is telling the other. There's like a point when they ask Doug, because they've all been just drinking beers, and I guess they realize, oh, the shit got real. We probably don't want to be drunk.
Yeah.
And somebody asked Doug, he's like, how long has it been since you had a beer? And he's like, long enough to be sober, and I haven't been sober in 12 years, and it sucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so like I know I've talked about like how I don't like self-aware stuff, but this feels like it does the self-aware thing the way it should be done. Kind of, it's hard to explain. It's that fine line, and I think that they fall on the correct side of that line. And just you come off with a really fun movie, and I love that the dude on the freaking cover of the VHS box is nothing in this movie.
He's like
barely
5 minutes in it.
Yeah.
He is barely in it, and he's like the most jacked up guy. And
I mean, the implication is that when all this shit goes down, he's going to take over and wreck dudes. Nope. He
but
plays no part
I
in
just
it.
love that there's so much stupid banter between all these main characters, just jawing at each other and being goofy. And Richard Lynch is in this movie, just Richard Lynching it up, just pissed off and like, I'm gonna fucking kill everybody else in this movie, the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's a fantastic contrast.
He's the low rent Rutger Hauer we needed in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 3 jocks. It's a lot of fun.
I totally agree with you. 3 jocks. I don't know how sold I am on that final 5 seconds or so that when it happened, I was just like, really? I don't know. But that's not the movie's biggest fault. The movie's biggest fault is like the 20 minutes of everyone just hanging out at camp at the beginning where, you're kind of expecting one thing out of this movie and you get just a lot of dialogue and just people mulling about not doing anything. Just a big chunk of it was just like, but to have so much like little pieces of business done throughout the movie where everyone sort of gets something to say and no one feels superficial or anything like that. And, it kind of feels like a real film crew. I mean, everyone kind of seems like, that probably is what that guy does. And, this person probably does that. And they're all kind of bad at
Well,
acting.
and I like the scene where they fake them out, like they're showing the switches they're using to activate the pyrotechnics and all that. It just
it's interesting. It's not just your one-man army movie. Someone decided they had $12,000 and some woods and were just like, let's make a one-man army movie. They actually tried to do something with it, and it worked okay. I mean, it was entertaining. So 3 jocks. I agree.
Yeah. I would also go 3 jocks. As silly as it is, that last 5 seconds lets them get away with a lot of it sort of washes a lot of the little issues with the movie away, and it's a clever enough way to do it without everything being in a snow globe or a dream or something. Because then you look back and you see how all the banter is like action movie banter, or a lot of the banter is like action movie banter, and it kind of worked for me. Like I think it's really stupid, but it's really stupid in a fun way. So it just works for me. And they, I had a point, but I completely forgot it. So moving on, it checked a lot of the right boxes, and it did suffer a little bit for the some of the chattiness and some of the just kind of okay, get on with it part in the beginning, but still it's a solid movie, and I would like to share this with people and see how they react for both of the reveals, both of the movie reveals.
Mm-hmm.
I would wager upon a second viewing that chunk of 20 minutes of dialogue would probably be more tolerable, because then you know what the movie is.
Right.
Whereas watching it for the first time, you're expecting, murder fest.
Get on with the invading and forcing. And all
but
that.
once you know what it is and who those characters actually are, you might appreciate that scene better second time around.
Yeah.
I hate to disagree with all of you, but I must.
You're going to give it 5 jocks.
I'm going to give it 4 jocks.
Okay.
It's not quite a 5. In some ways, I actually like this better than Deadly Prey. I mean, but in a lot of ways, I don't. I mean, okay. So the thing that was interesting about Deadly Prey is Danton is an infinitely better character. Obviously, Danton's awesome. But cleverness wise, I really actually think I like this one better. Granted, he had some time to kind of hone his craft, because this was, considerably later in his career, I think.
3 years.
Is it? I thought that
but
was
he
84.
made 6 movies a year, so...
87 was Deadly Prey? I thought it was 84. Okay. But yeah, the people are a little bit kind of insufferable, because they all have that, we just found these people in Alabama thing going for them, especially the lady. How she was ever in other movies, but she was.
Yeah, it's almost got a redneck exploitation vibe to it.
It does.
Yeah.
But I find this movie kind of super clever. I actually really like the meta-ness of it, and that wasn't a thing that was so played out.
Oh, no way.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, that was way early
Yeah,
for this sort of thing.
As you referenced, St. Elsewhere, I think, had finished and done the Snow Globe thing, and maybe Newhart, perhaps. I don't remember when the second Newhart ended. That might have been the 90s.
It had not ended yet.
Yeah, but meta was still a new thing, and I think we're kind of maybe a little jaded when it comes to it now. But looking at this and what it is kind of brilliant.
Yeah,
I mean, for this level of movie, so I just kind of got to give it some credit. The stunts are serviceable, and there's enough explosions, and I kind of like that. 2 of the things that should be the most awesome in the Troy character and the tank are kind of the lamest things. I mean, it's actually kind of funny about it. So I don't know. I actually really like this one. So.
Yep. Well, I think we all really liked it.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
The best time.
All right. Well, let's take a break, shall we?
Okay. No, wait. Okay.
Now.
Can't guarantee anything.
Ooh.
So we got anything second half?
Oh yeah.
I do.
I think we have some TV talk. Second half.
I got some hate to bring. We're not for that, but other stuff.
Yeah. I think Chuck and I can do some very quick TV talk.
Yeah, you guys have.
I think this guy watched the same TV we watched.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Well, and then I watched another thing too.
Oh, we just got all kinds of
So
talk.
have you guys watched all of that new TV show?
Just say it.
No, I'm not. I won't.
I have not watched the Kimmy show at all.
No, I mean the other.
Community?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
You've
we can
watched
spoil
all
it.
of
We're
it?
going to talk
Yeah.
about it in less than
Both episodes of.
Yes.
all two.
All
Is
two.
is that all that's available?
They're
Yeah,
doing
the
it
first
one a week every Tuesday.
Oh.
I thought it was two a week.
No, it's
It's just this first one.
Okay.
the first one was 2 episodes, and then every week will be one for until they're at 13
Okay.
episodes.
Well, that's
That's interesting.
yeah, good for
Are
them.
they
Which is how I always kind of figured Netflix would have done it back
Yeah.
when they first announced Arrested Development. But
Yeah. Netflix is just like here.
yeah,
Yeah.
They want you.
I think they know that you're gonna you're gonna binge watch that show, and then you're gonna go, oh shit, you got all of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch. They know that you'll find something
They're gonna-
else,
they're gonna
and
keep you there.
you'll stick around.
If they get you in a week-to-week mentality, you could get like on week 4 and go, fuck it, I don't need this, and then
Yeah.
get rid of it.
I'll wait until it comes on whatever service.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could do this on Hulu.
Yeah.
And I think they like. I mean, I like the fact that when House of Cards comes out, it's like, here's all of it.
Yep.
The only thing I don't like is if I can't watch it, as fast as possible, then the spoilers tend to leak. But I
Yeah.
can deal with that. I can just kill people
You could.
who spoil it.
Totally.
I wouldn't murder anyone over it. I'd mutilate them and make their lives miserable for the rest of their life, but I wouldn't murder them. People don't deserve to die over spoilers.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. And movies.
Yep.
Do you have movies?
Yes, I do.
Oh, that's right. You got
Oh.
one related to tonight's movie.
Yep. I got 5 movies. 6 movies.
Holy shit.
But
Good thing we don't have. Good thing we're only doing what is it? I think we're only doing 2 emails.
I have 6 movies and a book.
What?
A book. a book.
Did you
Yeah.
say 6 seasons in a book?
6 movies in a book?
I have 6 movies and a book.
A book.
A book.
A book.
That's right, a
Like
book.
with fucking words in it.
Yep.
A book.
Yep, one of those.
Did it pop up or anything?
No.
You disgust me.
It barely even has pictures in it.
Did you get to choose what happened?
A book.
No. I got to choose the next page.
Oh.
Were there no pictures? So it wasn't like
At the
picture,
end of
picture,
each
picture,
chapter,
picture,
there's
picture,
a
picture, picture,
collage.
picture, picture,
No.
picture, 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 picture,
That's a
and
movie.
sometimes
Well,
a big.
I watched-
No, they don't move.
Oh.
Well, I watched 3 movies.
I watched a book.
One of them I'm going to be very, very short
A
about.
good book.
The other
It's
one
called a movie.
kind of ties into some of the TV talk.
Okay.
And then our TV talk.
All right.
Read
So-
a book. Read a book.
I mean, I know you saw the Book of Mormon, but
That's
Books?
a play. I talked
Books?
about a play. Now I'm
That's
talking
even
about a
worse.
Yeah, what is this, Playcast?
book. No.
Oh. Playtone?
No.
Um,
Let me talk about
Play-Doh?
let me talk about one movie to start.
Play-Doh?
Yes, Plato. Let me talk about one movie to start, and then we can all talk about other stuff, and then I'll run through my other things real quick.
book.
Why don't you just
Do we have
whatever you want to
correspondence?
We're only going to do a couple, and they're brief.
Remember, I was asking who was positive on movies because I want to stagger my negativity because 2 of them are going to be a little scathing, and I don't like it.
Everything I have to talk about is positive.
Okay,
And I think.
do you want to build back up from that? So, I mean, the one thing I want to be very negative about is very new.
Okay.
So maybe
Well-
do you want me to lead it?
I will be very positive about the one TV show. That
Well,
I
yeah.
watched.
I
So whenever that comes up,
Okay,
I will chime in.
all right.
the thing I want to talk about first is not new, but it ties into what we just watched. It's BMFcast.
Okay, I
So,
will let you go first. Then.
Thank you.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Let me reload. Oh, you're the bomb.
Taste it. Taste it on your lips.
Petroleum jelly.
Just in case you're wondering, that's what it says.
Mabel, you're the bomb.
Here, I want to let you read it. Oh, focus. You're the bomb.
Sweet lower third.
Yep. You like that? It's for that other show. Those other assholes.
Face asshole.
There. You happy now?
Yeah.
We never go to these shots, so I don't fix them. This is how we make the donuts. Oh, look at you, all just like, chilling out over here. Look at you all chilling out over there.
Yeah.
Look at
Totally.
that. We got a second half lower third and all that.
Wow.
I know, right?
Wow.
Man, I need to make you a new
Make me a new what?
thing using the new
man.
logos.
I like the old.
Branding, man. All right. Got to be on brand.
Okay.
Come on.
All right.
Brand
yeah, we got to throw away
consistency.
our shirts.
Oh,
Synergy
Set
paradigm.
those fucking things on fire.
I launched mine in the sun like 2 years ago.
Oh.
And changed.
Oh, we spent a lot of money on those.
I'm kidding. It would cost me a lot more to put in the sun.
Now, shirts, we can do whatever we want with the shirts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Lower thirds may have to be sunglasses.
There'll be lower shirts, actually. There'll be
Then-
logo and your face here.
Why would request? Well, I mean, I don't.
Wait, people have to come up with their face on their shirt?
Yes.
Oh.
We might want to make
Paul
the
Rudd for the over.
might want to make it smaller. So we're not blocking Chuck's face over there.
No, just go ahead and block my face. Just make it a big blue dot.
Oh, okay. Here. Let me do that.
Why not have Chuck sit better?
Yeah, we could do that too. I mean, it doesn't matter because
Sit better, Chuck.
I sit on the.
That's what we need.
We stay on the split four more often than we do the main.
Yeah. It does look like Chuck's head is blowing up.
It kind of does.
It usually is.
It's like your phone, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
You are right.
Social media hashtag I'm awesome.
Yeah. What? Comedy.
The real Miz at something. Hashtag I'm awesome. Anyway, let's go.
All right.
Okay.
All right, welcome back.
Hey,
Hey.
second half.
Second half.
Here we are to do more
Half two.
podcasts.
Two?
Two.
Two. It's two this time.
Two. Only two.
Only two.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, who watched things? Chuck?
I got something I want to talk about real
Okay.
quick because it
Okay.
ties into what we just watched.
Doesn't
You
it?
have 14 seconds.
Okay. I watched a BMFcast movie called Deadly Prey.
Okay.
Hey, by David
yeah.
A. Pryor.
Yeah. That movie is exhausting.
What?
I guarantee you I had a different experience watching this movie by myself than you guys had watching it amongst each other for the show.
Well, that's true because you weren't here.
That's right.
And it was a different experience.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That movie feels like it should be over in 20 minutes. Like it has its first act, second act, third act all within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like when the second dude he kills them by breaking them against a tree. I'm like, oh, we've ramped up to the end of this movie. I guess there's just going to be 70 minutes of blue at the end of this video that I'm watching. This is just a lovely short film. So I think I would have had a bigger reaction to that movie had I been watching it with you guys. I just got to a point with that where I was just like, oh, God, where are all these people coming from? He's killing them real good, but where are these thousands of people that he's killing coming from? And it just got kind of like, okay, I get it. But I wanted to prep for this week's movie, and it turns out it in no way prepared me for this week's movie. It maybe gave me an incorrect expectation for what Invasion Force was going to be.
Huh.
So,
Well, they were in the woods in Alabama.
yeah, that was the same.
Yeah.
But everything else, I don't know.
All right.
That Danton guy is pretty good. He killed a lot of dudes.
Hey.
Wore some really short shorts.
He beat a dude to death with his own arm.
Yeah, he did.
Did yeah.
That was pretty sweet.
It was. It was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. That movie has highlights. There's some strong stuff in that movie, so. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Getting caught up on the backlog.
I can tell.
Nice.
Yeah.
One day you'll go. You'll get there.
I
Yeah,
know.
pretty soon you're going to be talking about Wicker Man.
I've seen Wicker Man.
What'd you think? well,
Don't talk about it as long as we did.
no.
Talking about movies that have highlights in it, I watched one that has no highlights
What?
whatsoever. I watched what might be one of the worst movies I've ever seen, if not definitely in a very long time. And give me a moment here, because let me try to let me qualify this by saying why I watched it before you groan outright, and I'll say that the reason you're going to groan, it goes beyond that. Let me just say what it is. I watched Into the Woods.
Oh,
Okay.
that one that I avoided having to go see with my wife.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
Right.
here's the way I looked at it. I was like, Disney's been on such a roll with their animated movies. Let's see how they're faring in the live action world, which they are going whole hog on, it seems, in a lot of ways. Because, you know, it used to be like, hey, there's a live action Disney movie once every 4 years. And now it's like, hey, what old animated movie that we make before can we make live action? Because it'll be different.
Right.
Apparently, Cinderella.
Made a shitload of money. Yeah, so
it
it's
did.
working.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Into the Woods is fucking terrible in the not just like the I hate musicals kind of way, because you know I don't, but this movie is just outright awful. Like, just bad. Like, the songs are not good. Like, they're not catchy. And this movie just becomes dark and twisted and not for kids at all. And it's just fucked up on so many levels. There is a scene where, and I don't, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to spoil some things. I don't care. Like, I'm like,
Johnny Depp is a wolf.
yeah, okay. Johnny Depp. That's where I'm actually going with. Johnny Depp as the wolf is like, for most of this movie, it's like fairy tale worlds collide, and you got Jack and the Beanstalk, Cinderella, Red Riding Hood.
Oh, I've heard of that TV show.
Things going all together, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, okay, this is based on a Stephen Sondheim thing from I
know.
believe the 80s, but
Yeah, I know.
yeah. But Johnny Depp's scene where he's the wolf is like wearing like the dumbest Broadway costume you can imagine, where like everything else is like we're trying to go for realism here, and he's just wearing this like ridiculous like I still want to look like Johnny Depp costume where it's just like put some tufts of whiskers on him, but you want to be able to tell it's Johnny Depp because we hired him. And then he proceeds to sing to like a 10 to 12-year-old girl about how plump and juicy she is. And how he wants to, you know, I mean, I'm assuming that he wants to eat her because he's a wolf and it's Little Red Riding Hood, but the way it's like coming off, it's like, this is fucking creepy. This is creepy as fuck. Yeah. And then it just gets weirder from there. Because, yeah, like you think the movie comes to a natural conclusion. It's like, oh, there's another hour left. What the fuck is going to happen? Yeah, it's just, it's awful. It's unbearably awful. Like,
So you don't recommend it?
no.
Okay.
No. I mean, I don't even know what possessed me to have the endurance to continue watching the movie. I was like, I think it became like a Star Wars holiday special thing at a certain point where it's just like, this has to go somewhere, right? I mean, this benign singing has to mean something, right? This has to have some kind of twist, or people were talking about liking this, right? I mean, something has to happen. This has to Shrek at some moment where it's going to be like, you know, oh yeah, okay, it was all kind of a joke, haha. But no, it just gets really dark. I don't know. I hated it. I outright
All right.
hated it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for taking that bullet for us.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I didn't think that was going to be an issue. Like, you were going to be like, I think I might go watch that movie. But I'm throwing it out there. That movie's awful.
Okay. So when my wife goes to watch it, I will find somewhere else to be.
And then you can listen to her complain about how awful it was. And yeah, like,
I'm sure she'll let me know.
I hate when, like, I hate when, like, I go and...
sure of that.
I hate when I go and, like, you know, I have a thought about a movie and then it ends up being, like, what a lot of people think about it. But, yeah, there's a lot of shit in it where it's like, I was offended that, like, they rated this PG. Because I was like, if I'd been like, hey, you want to go see the new Disney musical with my kids? I'd be fucking pissed. There's shit in this that's, like, it is just fucked up. Like, I don't know. I would have walked out with kids, you know, in a heartbeat.
Would you? Had you come with kids? Like you would have taken children by the hand and led
Let's not
them
make
away.
let's not make this weird, Chuck.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying, had I
understand.
had I kids and I took them there, I would be upset. And
Oh,
I would have made them leave.
I thought maybe you were going to rescue them. Like, get out of here,
Sure,
kids.
that could be how
Women
that
and
got
children
to.
first. Get out of the theater. I understand.
All right. So you hated it.
You want me to talk about the other movie I hated just to get it out of the way?
Let's do it.
Yeah,
All
let's-
right.
sure,
All right,
just-
let's bring it on.
I
didn't
it
say-
out there.
I don't know what it was, but like I just had a bad movie picking weekend where I was like, movies I need to see that are kind of long. I have some time, go. And somewhere along the lines, I picked up older movie 2006 Babel.
I remember that.
Yeah.
The fuck is with that
By the
movie?
director of Birdman.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I like Birdman a lot more. I'm not going to say I like Birdman, like loved it, but this is one of those movies where it's just like, you know, I'm going through some dark shit, and I'm going to make a movie, and I'm going to show you all this dark shit with zero hope whatsoever. Enjoy. And it's like, fuck you, guy. Just, I don't need to see that. There's enough pain and awful things that are real life in the world that I don't need your made up bullshit. Because this is just a movie where everything awful happens to everybody. And it's one of these things that goes, it's like 4 or 5 different places around the world where awful things happen to these people, and they're all sort of connected. And it's just like, well, that life just fucking sucks. I mean, my review is the sound of a gun going off. So.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the theater, and I could not tell you anything about it now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I remember going, that was,
Yeah.
Like, that was my only reaction to it back then, was just going, I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if it entirely works.
Yeah.
But
it's not a bad made movie. It's just wholly fucking depressing.
yeah, it's one of those that, like, what is your point?
And I mean, wholly isn't encompassing. Not
Sure.
wholly fucking depressing. Batman? Okay.
Birdman.
Yes. Right. Sorry. My mistake.
Tying it all back in.
There you go.
Yeah. And so that's just.
How did that come up? Like,
I don't know.
I
I don't know. It was just like I was like movies that I've been meaning to see that were long, and I don't remember what the tie was where I was like, that popped in my head of like been meaning to see this for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember.
Maybe I saw the Birdman thing and I forgot all about it.
I seem to remember.
I do
The only
that.
section I kind of liked was the one that didn't really have a big movie star in it, if I remember correctly, or at least didn't back then.
Well,
Because there's like there's Brad Pitt and Kate Blanchett,
Right. And then there's
trying
the
to remember-
section. There's the section where Gabriel Garcia Bernal, isn't it? Like like they go down to Mexico for a wedding, and he takes basically the housekeeper takes the kids, Brad Pitt's kids, down to Mexico with her because he can't, which is stupid. It's like I can't find anyone to watch the kids, so let me take them down there.
That's right.
And then shit goes bad there, and then there's this scene in Japan with the deaf girl who's the girl from Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
And
I think that was the part that I was like, wow, this is actually probably the best part of this movie.
yeah, but still weird. I mean, like the one scene that was interesting is when they take her to the club. I mean, she's stone deaf, not like partially hard of hearing, and they take her to a dance club for the first time, and so they keep doing the shot where it's like she's seeing the lights and everything for the first time, but then it's like it becomes her perspective and the music drops, and so it's just that was like filmmaking wise kind of fascinating, but otherwise it's just like when that movie is over, it's like just
Yeah.
why?
Yep.
Yeah, no happy endings.
No.
Anyway, so that's the end of my Heat Fest. Done.
Okay.
All right.
What else you got?
Well, we plow through some movies here real
All
quick.
right.
All right.
Allergies are attacking the shit out of me, so I spent a day in bed, and I was just like, I don't want to watch anything I haven't seen, and I just want familiar stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, let's watch Cobra.
yeah, Cobra.
Cobra.
That's a BMFcast classic.
It is. I was a little worried that movie would not hold up. That
Nope,
movie
that
holds
movie
up.
is awesome.
That movie is so stupid fun. Just Cobra. You should watch Cobra. Mm-hmm. That's a really dumb movie. Then I was like, I need more of this. So let me watch all 4 of the Lethal Weapon movies,
Yeah.
which I had not seen in forever. Watched them all again. Gave a fresh perspective on.
I did that last year.
This was after like I have just been like, no, fuck you, Mel Gibson, you don't exist in my world anymore. I was just like, fuck it, Mel Gibson. He's sad now, so let's watch Lethal Weapon movies. Those movies go 1, 2, 4, 3. That's how those movies rank.
You're close.
Okay.
I'm right.
No, it's 2.
No, you're
It's
close.
2, 1, 4, 3.
2, 1, 4, 3
Nope.
is the correct.
2's got some issues.
No, what? That
Don't
the
get me
bad
wrong.
guys don't die horrible enough?
Don't get me wrong. Lethal Weapon 2 is a great movie, but it's got a bunch of there's a bunch of dialogue in that movie that sounds like it was specifically written for a trailer. It's just little sound bites of bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, that's bad. It's every time you hear one, you're just like, oh, why? No person on the planet would ever say that. It's strictly for a trailer. It's just to announce that you've made a sequel to a movie, but it's a line of dialogue in your movie, and it's terrible. So there's just little cringeworthy moments of that. Plus, it introduces Joe Pesci,
Yeah,
who
it
really
does have
just
Joe
fuck
Pesci.
right off with all of that.
Yeah, but in that movie, though, I
he's
mean, that's-
mostly okay.
yeah.
in it.
Yeah, in that movie,
The drive-through speech and all that.
Yeah. He's okay in it, but what it does to the movies,
Yeah.
it kind of hurts it. But
Well, the only reason 4 is better than 3 is, well, number 1, 3 is utterly forgettable, but it does have Jet Li and he does cool stuff.
yeah, 4's got some.
That's literally, and they blow up like a whole. Isn't that the one where they blow up the whole building? I mean,
that's in 3.
3.
Oh, is it? Where
Yeah.
they got the demo
And it's
permission.
dumb.
Well, it is because they're just demolishing a
I was
building.
in Orlando then. They made such a huge deal about that.
Yeah. And it's funny because you could so tell it's Orlando.
Yeah.
It's like the skyline is like, wait, I barely know what Orlando looks like. That's Orlando.
Yeah. Well, 3 just doesn't even have any. Like, it barely has villains that register.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem with 3.
3.
At least one you have like Gary Busey as Mr. Joshua, and and then you got the freaking South Africans that just holy God need to die so bad in the second one.
Yeah, there's nobody in 3. Every time I would see the bad guys in 3, I was like, when does the real bad guy show up?
So where does Rene Russo show up? Is she 3?
3, yeah.
3.
So that was the
only reason
thing
for 3 to exist is so that you won't be confused by Rene Russo being in 4.
Okay.
That's really the only reason to ever watch 3. The rest of 3 is so forgettable. There's kind of an interesting some action stuff in the subway that they do with this car on rails that comes out and turns into a real car, and it's like whatever.
Which one has the house on the freeway?
That's 4.
That's in 4.
Yes,
okay, yeah.
and that's
because I remember
great.
that scene being
Yes.
awesome, and I couldn't remember if it was in 3 or 4 because I know
Yeah,
3
no.
3 has like one scene that I seem to remember being like, okay, this is awesome.
It's probably that starts in the subway, goes out to the
Yeah,
freeway stuff, but
must
like
be.
4, man, the fighting in that mobile home.
Yeah.
Up against the plastic that's just exposed on the freeway.
And then he's stuck on like the pallet that's getting dragged by the plastic behind the...
It's all really good.
Yeah.
And there, I mean, 4 starts with that dude in like a metal suit
The
with a
frickin'
flamethrower and a machine gun just going blowing up LA. It's fantastic.
yeah.
So 4 is a strong, like, okay, it's not as good as Lethal Weapon you remember, but hey, this is pretty good. And then I finished that off by watching National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1, because why not?
Sure.
Might as well
How
watch
was it?
another Lethal Weapon.
Yeah,
I guess.
that movie. There are jokes out of nowhere in that movie that are so good, but most of the jokes in it are so bad.
Yep.
But man, every once in a while, they just a total surprise joke that you just don't see coming. Where like Samuel Jackson is showing a person Whoopi Goldberg's picture. It's like, do you recognize this person? He's like, is that her? He's like, no, that's her picture. It's just dumb joke, boom, out of nowhere. You're just like, oh, that's great. And then it's just 10 minutes of bullshit, and Corey Feldman shows up, and it's just awful. But yeah, so that was my sick weekend.
Oh,
of
nice.
Just
Nice.
Sick
catching up.
weekend, bro.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
So, I guess before we get into other entertainment stuff, I read a book.
Okay.
Why did you read a book?
That's relevant to what we do.
Those have words in it.
I know, but it's relevant to
Will
what
you
we
insert the cricket sounds on your own talk?
do. I'll put them in.
It takes so long. Books.
They do. They're meaty.
They take so much longer than movies.
They do. They take time. But this was
It's
a
the
biography.
worst.
This
have
was
to-
an autobiography.
Oh.
But yeah, was
the
it
E?
Quiet Riot?
Yes.
If it's an
Is
autobiography,
this called Down on
of
Skid
anyone
Row
but
by
Eazy-E.
Skid Row?
Yes,
right.
exactly. Yes. No. The book's called On the Cheap, My Life in Low Budget Filmmaking. It's written by Graydon Clark. He's directed 2 of our movies. He did
Yeah.
Black Shampoo, and he did Joysticks.
Yep.
He directed other movies that I've reviewed on YouTube, and he's done movies that were on Mystery Science Theater. So, I mean, he's relevant to what we do here
Yeah.
and all that. It is a fascinating book, and I don't have any idea how anyone ever made a movie ever that wasn't attached to a studio. Like, the trials and tribulations of someone working outside the system, trying to get money together, and then after making money, trying to get that money from who owes it to them, is fucking insane. I would have put a bullet in my head the first time this guy got screwed over.
Oh, it's like Babel.
Yeah, but I mean, he got screwed over so many times. I have no idea how he kept going. He kept going on and on. It kind of kept striking an interest with me locally, because one of the distributors that he keeps talking about, one of the guys who seemed to be a good guy in the distribution world, worked out of where we live. So that keeps getting mentioned in the book, and I'm like, ooh, it's interesting that this has local ties back to when like there were all these territories of distribution for movies and stuff like that. It's just a fascinating look at a time that will never exist again. Now everything is a big conglomerate, and you can't make a low budget movie for anything. So, but
Yeah.
it's
You basically have to toss it on YouTube and hope
yeah. So I mean,
people donate to your Patreon for it or whatever.
But each chapter is like a detailed pre-production, production, post-production look at every movie he made. The stories are sad and unbelievable that all of these movies actually got finished and released, and it's just crazy. But
Does he talk about Black Shampoo specifically at all?
Oh yeah,
like
every movie he made
as
has
far
its
as
own
like
chapter.
the tonal shift at the end of that movie.
It was the distributors were like, we need action in this movie. He just wanted to make a comedy.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you got to throw in some stuff at the end. That was basically
So they basically made him turn it into an exploitation movie.
Yeah.
At the end of that.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yep.
That's really weird.
So
Okay.
You talk about how Joysticks was terrible.
Joysticks is actually his most successful movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
It made so much money.
All right.
And he never saw a goddamn penny of it. It is I mean, that movie
See,
was
that's
number
what you
one
get for reading books.
I know. That movie was number 1 in the nation when it hit wide release. Joysticks.
That's crazy.
It made a ton of money.
Well,
That
you
must have
know,
been a slow week.
people bought Pac-Man Fever. And it's
I
not-
know. It was a fad thing. And
Historically, that's
but-
not a very good song.
I know. But
Sorry.
yeah. And he totally cops to that. He
I know.
knows he wasn't making art. He was like, hey, I see kids playing video games. Let's make a video game movie. And that's what he was just capitalizing. But
Sure.
man, that poor guy. Just want to hug him. Every chapter I would read, I would just go, dude, man, if I could just say I'm sorry. I mean, it's like we sort of liked Black Shampoo. I wish I could tell you.
It's not your fault.
I know.
Do you have that
It's not your
in
fault.
paper form, or is it
Kindle?
Kindle? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
All right. Well, I got one more movie
Lend
that'll tie into the next discussion.
Okay.
It's somewhat related. I'll go ahead and spoil that we're probably going to talk about the return of Community or Yahoo Immunity
Yeah.
or whatever we're going to call it now.
Yeah, Unity.
Yeah, Unity.
Yay.
So
Community.
I watched those 2 episodes, and then which we're going to talk about in a second. But I saw it popped up on Netflix, and I added Harmontown. The documentary is on Netflix right now. So
What is that about?
Dan Harmon.
It is. They were following Dan Harmon on his
Podcast
live tour where he would do live episodes of the podcast
Yeah.
and get mind-numbingly drunk
Yeah.
basically every single night on stage. And they would play like
On purpose?
Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So basically, his podcast spawned. Did he start
What is
it?
his podcast about?
It's called Harmontown, and it's just like it's kind of like I'm going to exercise my demons on stage.
Yeah. It's just kind of him.
That's his
telling
podcast?
stories
Okay.
and-
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it spawned. Did he get fired from Community, and that's when he started this, or was it
Yes.
around the same
It
time?
was after
okay.
he was
so,
fired.
So yeah, he got fired for season 4 of Community.
Mm-hmm.
Started this podcast and was basically like, I'm just going to go. He started it in a local comic book shop in L.A. Just would do this every week, and they have a stage there. It's tied to the Nerdist thing or something like that. It's like their stage. Anyway, so he'd get up there and he had like a co-host guy, and not very many episodes in, they found this guy in the audience that they basically made their resident dungeon master, and they would sit there and he talked for a while and say things, and then they'd sit there and play D&D live on the mic or whatever.
Sure.
And what's funny is like this whole documentary goes of like they made some episodes and they're like, we should go on a nationwide tour. I don't know how, it wasn't that many cities, but they went around and did live shows in different places and brought the DM guy with them, and so it's just kind of like an interesting little look at like him and his life and how he's kind of an asshole. I mean, I think he'd probably even admit that, and
Oh, he does.
yeah. And him issues with him being an asshole and his girlfriend and friends, and they interview other people, like people on Community and people he's worked with in the past, and I don't know, it's just it's a roller coaster ride of like emotions, because you're like, man, yes, everything's coming together, and it's like, yeah, it's an interesting little documentary, because when the takeaway is done, you're like, I don't know, he got Community back, because it ends with like him getting the news of like you're gonna be back for season 5, and they brought the DM guy, was actually the funky roommate that lived with
Okay.
Abed and Annie.
I wondered who that guy was.
Yeah.
It seemed so weird, that guy. I was just like, this guy's got to be somebody.
Yeah,
Who's this
that's him.
Okay.
So he was literally just a fan that showed up one night, and they asked
That's
something.
so crazy.
He basically like went to this like a few times, like hoping they'd talk about D&D, and like he was like the only ones that like raised his hand when they said like, anyone in the audience know anything about D&D? And this guy has like a tube of dice, and things like like he's hardcore into it. So. But anyway, so
But let me ask you, does it in any way make you dislike Dan Harmon? Because I kind of don't want to.
Well, I've heard from a lot of people that is their reaction to it.
Okay, because I mean,
Yeah.
I've read articles both written by him and about him where it's like, dude, you got to get your demons under control because
Yeah.
you're a raging asshole. And then I just like have to stop reading because it's like, but you make my favorite show. I can't.
yeah.
watch.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe a little bit, like temporarily, because then I was like, you know what, a lot of creative people are probably exactly
Sure.
like this, and I just kind of accept it. Like people that make good things tend to be kind of not great people.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just historically we're definitely part of that.
Yeah. Genghis Khan.
Yeah. Right.
What?
And we don't even
Historically.
make great
Oh.
things.
Yeah.
We're raging
Yeah.
assholes.
Yeah.
But we make a great show.
Yeah.
Ish.
Maybe not you.
3/4 of a good
Yeah.
show.
But Community,
Yes.
It's back.
it premiered on Yahoo this week.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody! Yahoo has a
First-
streaming service now.
Hey,
First two
everybody.
episodes.
Yahoo's still around.
Yeah. It's a thing that you could go to.
And
Can I-
man, go ahead.
Can I just interject really quick that, like, that's probably one of the most brilliant things Yahoo has done in the ever.
Oh,
Is
absolutely.
to
Well, they've made plenty of other fuck ups, so it's about time they had to
Yeah.
do something
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They bought so many things that they
They're
lost so much
good
money
for
on.
something besides fantasy football.
Yeah.
yeah. So, like, good on you, Yahoo, for doing a smart thing.
It is the smartest way to get awareness that you exist that they could have thought of. I mean, an
Yeah.
ad campaign, people would have been like, "What? Who cares? I'm not watching anything on Yahoo." But you put something on that people will watch.
Yeah.
Suddenly, everyone's like, "How do I watch Yahoo?"
And it helps that show is still fucking genius. Like, I don't know how they're still as good as they are and as funny as they are, but those first 2 episodes are fantastic.
They're very strong, very
Yeah.
strong episodes. I was worried. I thought because when that trailer came out, just watching it online, you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, this looks like a webcast now." I'm worried about this.
Right. I mean, I think when it's all over, I had a different opinion, but like it's kind of like when Arrested Development came to Netflix.
Yeah.
Like that season only works like when you watch the whole thing.
Right.
Like, and you start to realize like actually how brilliant it kind of was.
Mm-hmm.
But I was afraid this was going to be that like initial feeling of like, oh, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
going to be like kind of like the Gas League episode, but held by the guy that didn't make the Gas League
Right.
season.
Yeah. But no, this is the tonal changes really. It's not that different. I mean, it's.
It feels like the same show.
I mean,
however,
yeah.
as you told me, there's plenty of gags in there that NBC would just been like, nope,
Yeah.
nope, don't. What you're doing? What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's probably at least 5 things in each episode that you could probably tell a network exec would have been like, "No, you're cutting that."
Well, it's just because they. And God, I don't want to give away the one in the second episode, but there's a thing that's like 4 minutes long that, like on NBC, it would have been like a 20-second snippet.
Yep.
Well,
But
yeah, it
because
would have
it's
been
on-
the thing that they like played the credits really fast over.
Yep.
Yeah.
In like a little tiny window.
But there's like it's just like we're just gonna go all out and we're gonna do this entire thing for this long, and we're gonna do freeze frames with title credits in the middle of an episode for no particular reason, just because they know that it's a good joke.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, you could tell, like, of course they got away with a lot at NBC, obviously, but you could tell there were probably moments where someone at NBC was just like, "I don't get it. I don't get the joke here. I don't know what you're doing.
Well,
cut it."
Part of that Harmontown thing is amidst him doing this tour, he was writing 2 pilots. He was pitching a pilot to Fox and pitching a pilot to CBS, and he made the joke of like, I can't make my show successful, so I'll go to successful networks. Because NBC kind of fucking blows right now.
Yeah.
Can name me a show that's on NBC right now? Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
sports Saturday Night Live.
Right. Thank you. And the NBC Nightly News.
With
not
that
really.
guy that's not
Oh, right.
that gay anymore.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but no,
Ryan.
and like yeah, like they filmed the notes call one of them that he finished.
Oh.
And it was just we don't get this. Can you explain that better? But and then I don't know. It's like
Yeah, and see, I don't get that there's anyone at Yahoo going, "I don't get this." They're just like, "Make your show. People are going to watch you Yahoo now." So
please just make them come to Yahoo.
Right.
Do whatever you want.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're not so out there. They're not any more out there than any other episode. I mean, there have been Community episodes where we're just like, holy God, what the hell is going on here? But they are not so out there that it's like a whole new universe or anything like that. It is just super silly Community and joke. Most of them hit. I mean,
Yeah. I love that in the speakeasy on the wall they have a photocopied picture of Dan Harmon that says "Do not serve this man."
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And that whole first episode, how self-referential it is in terms of what the show is and who the characters are and who the new characters are. It's
Well, do they kind of go through and like explain folks to you, or
They bring in some new characters.
Obviously.
The first episode they bring in a new character that is clearly like, I think she's fantastic. And they undercut her in the perfect way
yeah.
about halfway through. to like basically humanize her, because at first you're like, fuck everything about this person.
Right.
And it's absolute genius what they do with her, actually.
It's
one of the best things they've done in the show, I think, in the meta way of like basically having someone who's like, no, fuck you, you can't do this,
Yeah.
and then when they get to do what they want, they fucking wreck everything.
Yeah.
So,
but then, to have that character then...
And that character's right, basically.
Yeah, not only that, but then also the premise seems to be that character is speaking for the world, like, you people can't act like this. Mm-hmm. And then come to find out that person is equally as out of place in the rest of the world as everyone else is. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a pretty good...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think she's great. And then Keith David is...
Yeah.
God, he's Keith David.
Yes.
Like, I was already in. Like, it didn't matter. He could show up and be like, I'm Keith David, whatever. And I'd be like, fuck yeah, Keith David. It's Keith David.
Yep.
No.
But it's
so I look forward to seeing more of both of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was worried that Keith David probably would be kind of like, I'm above this. But he is so on board with whatever bullshit he's being handed.
Do you remember Saints Row?
No, I do, but, I mean,
Do you remember, like, all Keith David movies?
Yeah.
Pretty much?
Pretty much.
Remember he was the bartender in Roadhouse?
Yeah, he had
no one else
scene
does.
in Roadhouse.
I was saying,
look,
I'm just
Keith
being like, it's like they forgot about him in the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else, yeah. So,
But no, and there'll be new episodes every week. There'll be a new episode.
Yeah.
Until they hit episode 13, I guess. So.
Yeah, and then we will all huddle around the internet again, wondering what the hell's going to happen to Community.
yeah.
I can't imagine that show is
I think
super
everyone
expensive to make.
I think everyone involved knows that they just need to make a movie. Like,
Well,
you just have
obviously.
to. No, I mean, and be done. And I'm okay with that. Like,
I think everyone's okay with that.
I think they just you have to accept that fate. Yes.
I know. Well, no.
I mean,
I'm fine with it.
Let
I don't.
Dan
I don't
Harmon
care.
go do something else. I mean, you know.
I am not married to Community like you guys are. I think it's a good show. I'm not married to it, but I know if they say, "Oh no more Community. We're just making a movie and we're done for real," people are going to shit all of the bricks.
The difference is it'll be their decision. That's what they haven't been given the entire time.
The entire time it's been
and honestly,
it's
for them, it's the perfect meta joke.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And that show is all about that sort of thing.
Yeah. Although it would be funny if then they come back after the movie and just do another season of no one giving a shit. Just make it the most predictable, shitty sitcom. Mm-hmm. Put a laugh track in it. Just like, hey, we wanted to make some money.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great. I'm glad it's back, and I'm glad it's still good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad they're allowed to go on random tangents, and I want that movie from the second episode so bad. I want to see that movie 1 billion times. And that's all I'm going to say.
That might be a bit much. A bit too many.
I know.
I'd watch it at least 5.
Yeah.
As would I.
It's so good.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, one last thing of TV, and I think this is like a public service that the internet has already done for us, but I still feel like we should add our voice to the chorus. Mm-hmm. If you have Netflix, and I don't know why you wouldn't, I highly recommend you go and watch Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
I would also highly recommend it.
Yeah. It's the spiritual successor to 30 Rock, and like when 30 Rock was great.
Oh.
Like, take the highlight years
Right?
and just kind of continue from there. It's like shave off the beginning and the end where it got shaky, and it's right there in the peak part.
I think you're talking about sort of maybe tone and
the
quality,
the Tina Fey-ness of it.
Yeah. Because it's nothing like
No, I mean,
I
not
don't feel like it's
character-wise.
anything.
No,
It's
just
quality-wise.
Yeah.
just quality and tone-wise. I mean, like the joyfulness that Mackey's often said that he misses from sitcoms and the awful people of, like, I mean, the entire cast of Always Sunny is awful. Pretty much the entire cast, even Michael is awful in Arrested Development. I mean, you root for him because he's kind of the most sane.
least awful.
He's like the most. He's the most sane, but he's still kind of awful. Like, does awful things. So I mean, this is a show that just may have awful people in it.
Even in Community, there's a lot of just rampant shittiness.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Well, a lot of people in Community are terrible.
Well, like, I mean, but people have moments, and then they're just not always that way.
Right.
Like, I mean, Abed is Abed, and he's always going to be. He's a constant. At least there's that.
Right. But there's. We don't have to talk about that, but there is a certain like earnestness and kindness and joy that is missing from sitcoms in general. I think I feel like there's a lot of that sort of feeling in Parks and Rec, and I was really going to miss that, being that Parks and Rec is no more.
Which, by the way, that final season, I don't care what anyone says, that final season was fan-fucking-tastic of Parks and Rec.
So good.
Holy shit.
That's the only way you can wrap up a show like that, and I think they did just knocked it out of the park. But going back to this show, I know people are complaining about it because it's got sort of like that, a bit of that, like, the thing that's popular, which is 90s referential stuff. But you also have to understand that is the demographic that is growing, that is, consuming the majority of the media right now, is people people who grew up in the 90s. And those references are going to be important for them, just like the references to whatever your decade was were important to you.
Right.
So stuff it in your craw, haters.
Yeah.
Totally.
Right. Yeah, no, I kind of adore this show already.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 13 episodes in, and I kind of like. I want more, and I'm almost ready to just watch them again because like there's that many there's sometimes several layers of joke happening sometimes visually on screen.
I noticed that you posted that picture on Twitter of the diet water, and I want to see how far back that goes. Like, did they just?
I think I just noticed it like probably the third or fourth time it showed up because it was also later in this episodes too.
I noticed it way later in the episode 10, I think.
But I appreciate having touches like that. There are a ton of whoever they have doing their printing and whatnot for that show must just constantly be laughing because I've noticed almost anything that you can pick up is hilariously titled, like what it is, and and now I'm forgetting examples and I don't necessarily want to spoil them, but I mean they're just it's full of things like that. So
and there are also there's some running jokes that they drop in, and there's also a running joke that they phase out. I forget the mom, Jacqueline.
Oh yeah, Jane Krakowski.
Jane Krakowski's character just butchers Kimmy's name for a long time, and I think it's the second episode she calls her Cornmo, which I think is a thing that Harlow and I are probably 2 of 8 people on the planet who would have noticed it. And Titus calls Kimmy a different sort of strange nickname version of her name. Every single time, it's a different nickname. Yeah. Every time he doesn't say Kimmy, he says Lil Kim or Kimalicious or something. Yeah. Every single time, it's different. And little touches like that where they're able to keep those things. Yeah,
it keeps it fresh. It doesn't just be like he said his line. He said whoa.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a good line.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Sorry. I mean, if we're going with 90s, I had to go straight to
the door open.
I had to go
slide in.
I had to go straight to Blossom if we're going to keep our 90s reference quota up
fair
here.
enough.
Yeah,
that's where you go.
Yeah. Time out.
But,
yeah.
Anyway, but I think they're doing a really good job with that show, and I think it's I don't know much about how. I don't know much.
But you know you love.
But I know I love you.
That might be all I need to know.
Listeners. Well, in general, when TV episodes are shot for broadcast TV, are they shot shoot the whole season in a row, shoot it as much as you can? So no, they're usually episode at a time.
Episodes of production.
Yeah, because usually they're scrambling to write them.
Yeah.
Right, and so
to make their weeks.
Okay, so it's
because it's usually when a season's on, it's like a 6-day schedule where the first 3 tend to be writing and then filming partial scenes and stuff, and then getting everything done in those last 3 days.
Edited and finished up.
I think
a few days
changed
before
a little bit nowadays. I don't think it's not quite that down to the wire anymore. And I think they've got burned too many times with things like that. But I think,
and that's why most shows have gone to half seasons as
Right.
opposed to like the full 22 to 26 episodes it used to be.
I also think if you watch movie release schedules, people that show up in TV and movies, that I think they're shooting more and more TV shows in their entirety in the off season, or at least leading into the beginning of the actual season.
So yeah, that's what I was thinking is with these digital release TV shows, it seems like they can shoot an entire season in,
I don't know what the deal with this one is. Might be a little weird. They may have already shot some because this was supposed to be an NBC show, and NBC basically passed on it, which is even funnier now. 'Cause it's like, remember to name me an NBC show, and they passed on the thing that everyone's talking about on Netflix, which again they're probably like, fuck.
But on NBC would have died after 3 episodes.
Absolutely,
So-
yeah, because no one turns to that channel.
Yep.
Except for Saturday nights. Yeah,
right.
and they
But-
probably shouldn't.
And they
anymore.
do,
No,
and
they
they
really should
complain
not.
because it's terrible.
Yeah.
every week.
Why am I watching this?
But with something like the digital release thing, they can load up all the.
Oh,
they can
I just meant I don't
shoot it
know
all.
if they shot any of it
Yeah.
for NBC or if it was literally like, here's a pilot and now we pass.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know,
Yeah, I don't know.
who knows? I mean, Tina Fey's name may have just said like, oh, here's shoot us 6 episodes and we'll decide then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's funny because it's on Netflix, but it keeps that mostly PG. It could be on TV vibe, which I expect. Like this might be the first Netflix show that ends up showing on like TBS someday. Yeah, so they might syndicate it because it
Maybe.
it basically wouldn't. I think other than time, it wouldn't need any editing. Really, there's a couple jokes that are marginal.
Yeah, a couple blue jokes, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah.
From what everybody said about it and from the commercials that actually ran during Community,
Yeah.
I
were they running commercials
Yeah,
for
for
Kimmy Schmidt during
yes.
Community
That's
on
unusual.
Yahoo screen?
yeah, if you don't use the app and you try to do it through the web browser, you will get basically standard commercial breaks with like 4 or 5.
I didn't even think about it. I did it on Apple TV and
Yeah.
no commercials.
Yep.
Weird.
Yep.
Anyway,
But yeah, that show did look funny.
pretty good.
And the way it sounds, it's good-hearted. So
Yeah.
that might be something I'm interested in.
Yeah, I mean, and I was always kind of hoping Ellie Kemper would get a vehicle. I mean, from her part on The Office.
Yeah. I find her incredibly charming.
Yep.
So
Cool.
Cool. So you guys got anything else? You want some emails?
Emails.
let's do some
Yeah.
emails. Yeah.
Correspondence.
Okay.
We'll do one voicemail and one email. How about that, huh?
Okay.
Yeah.
Which order would you like to do them?
I'll do the first one up from Moonpier. Who says, "Hey guys, long time no talk."
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
It is actually.
All right.
It says, just a quick one here for you. As you may or may not remember, me and my lady friend have been sharing movies with each other, and today we are doing a double feature. Garden State from 2004 and the 2010 A-Team. That is a weird double feature.
Huh.
But he says, now watching Garden State made me want to ask, what guys do you guys have a very serious and deep emotional connection with?
What guys? Because I mean, you might have a connection with wanting to punch Zach Braff, but you said what guys do us
What
guys?
movies
Oh, okay.
do you guys have a very serious and deep emotional
right.
connection with that you cannot objectively view or struggle to?
Ah, okay.
I know Mackie might, for example, bring up Fight Club as a late 20-something. He loved it, but now is kind of eh. Anyway, I look forward to the responses. And yeah, Garden State has a connection with me for emotional things. Anyway, love the show. Except for my bag of Skittles and Toblerone bar when we're out.
I had an emotional reaction to Garden State, but it was not positive. So that's not going to
Yeah.
be my answer.
It happens. But yeah, sometimes there are movies that are just like, it feels like your life, kind of, through
Sure.
a different lens. And those are the ones that are really, and, Fight Club can be that way when you're young and dumb and you don't know how the world quite works.
Yeah,
And you think the world owes you something when it really fucking doesn't.
totally.
Yeah. But
wait, it doesn't?
Nope.
No, it does not.
Sorry.
I gotta make some phone calls. I'll be right back.
Yep.
I mean that I didn't know. I didn't know we were like doing a self-recognizing kind of emotional thing. I have movies that like I will not hear an unkind word said about them. I'll just either tune it out or just you're wrong.
Yeah.
I can't separate it.
Yeah.
But
Like Alien and Gremlins.
but
When I read
those are
people giving
generally
those 1-star
good.
reviews on
Yeah.
Letterboxd, and I was like, you need to die. And there were people that I knew that had less than 4.5-star reviews of it, and
Yeah.
I unfollowed them.
That's good.
all
Because
right.
I said, you know what? You're not worth following if you don't give these movies that rating. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No quarter, man.
Yeah.
No mercy.
.net.
Yeah,
I will not hear a bad word about Amelie. It is a wonderful, glorious, beautiful thing. And if you say anything bad about it, I will stab you to death with the closest thing available.
Yep.
I mean, we've let Mackie live, but I feel that way about Princess Bride. You know, I mean,
I understand people who have no connection to it.
yeah,
And it's that one's weird. Like I can see where people would be wrong about it, but they're just wrong.
yeah. I don't know. Like I said, there's plenty of movies like I have strong the things that I love, and especially the things that aren't maybe universally loved. I tend to latch on to harder because like I'm not going to go out and be like people don't like that. Let me love it. You know, it's like I saw it and loved it, and I'm like, what, people don't like this? That makes me love it more. I must defend this.
Yeah.
I must become the internet defense force for this movie. So.
And there's plenty of stuff I just can't, like certain movies like Children of Men. I don't know how someone can watch that and not go, this is fucking incredible. Like it, you know, we've talked about it. There's certain movies where that your brain just cannot compute how someone can watch that and go, fuck you. Like fuck this whole thing. Like I really, you know, because I mean, there are movies like Scott Pilgrim. I love Scott Pilgrim to death. I can understand why certain people cannot stand that movie
Because they're wrong.
Yeah, but I can get it. Like, you know, what circumstances in their life made them a horrible person that wouldn't like. But no, I'm just kidding. But
No, you're not.
no, I'm not really. But yeah. but there's other movies where I'm like, no, this is too well made. This is like everything about it is too good for me to understand how someone could watch it and go, no.
Yeah.
Or just flat out say, no, that's really bad. That's terrible.
I think indifference is the one that I can't quite grasp. When, like, a really great movie, someone will go, it was okay. They're just like, wait. I would be on board if you could make an argument as to why it's terrible, but just to go, you know,
Well,
like,
yes. Piggyback off of that, my I don't know if both parents watch it, but at least my stepdad watched Pacific Rim and was like, was that it? And I'm like, I'm like, you son of a bitch! I'm like, that's your reaction?
What the fuck?
Is that it? Like,
Yeah.
they're giant robots fighting giant fucking monsters. He had a ship. He punched a monster with a ship.
Yeah. He wielded a battleship like a bat.
yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I get that.
Yeah. Well, it's like when someone's talking about Tarantino movies and they're like, Pulp Fiction is probably my 6th or 7th favorite Tarantino movie. I'm like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
I like Kill Bill 2 more than like Pulp Fiction. I'm like, get away from me. There is something wrong with your brain. You're one of those people that just doesn't process information properly. Just go away from me. But I run into that all the time. Just how somehow, and I think it's a hipster thing. I think somehow people are like watching Pulp Fiction and just being like, yeah, I mean, I could, and to be fair, Pulp Fiction spawned such a ridiculous genre change going forward that I could see someone going back to it and going, I don't get it, but holy God, how do you not watch Pulp Fiction and go, fuck yeah, Pulp Fiction, that movie's fantastic.
God,
I can't. That's a movie that I could not distance myself from the time. So I cannot fathom how someone could watch that now, 20 years later, and just be like, I don't understand. I was like, what don't you understand? It's fucking great. It's Pulp Fiction. Get it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't get people like that. For some reason, at the time, I emotionally latched on to the Spielberg movie Always, which no one gives a flying fuck about that movie.
I've never
but
seen it.
I will defend that movie. I think that movie just spoke to me at the time. I think I can recognize why people don't like it, but I just won't hear it. Just like if someone comes to me and says, you know, it's like, oh, that's like Hook. I'm like, fuck you. Go away.
You're like Hook.
Show you a Hook.
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, as far as like movies that hit like an emotional connection, I think the last one I recall was Seeking a Friend for the End of the World. I did not expect that movie to hit me as hard as it did by the end of it.
yeah.
Like
I
at
agree
all.
with you. Yeah. We
Like-
both watched that around the same time and
Yeah.
had the exact same reaction to it.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that was like amazing
Yeah.
by the end of it, and I was just totally not expecting the ending that happened in that movie.
Yeah.
And that was one of the last ones that I can recall where I was just like, okay, yeah. Like, personally, I I became that invested in everything in that movie.
Yeah.
And I know there's plenty of people that don't like it. Like, they just think it's cloying and whatever, but the sentimentality in that hit me at the right time, right level, and I think that has so much to do with it too.
Yeah.
Is the mood you're in and the time that you see something and the place in your life and all that sort of stuff. So
Yeah, I sat
Yeah,
next to
Sister
a
Act.
friend of mine back in 2000, sitting next to him in a preview screening for that movie Keeping the Faith, which is like this terrible Ben Stiller
Queen Latifah movie?
No, Ben Stiller, Edward Norton, Jenna Elfman, I think, were like one's a priest and one's a rabbi or
Oh
something.
God, I know what you're
that.
talking
It's
about, but
a-
I can't remember the name of that.
It's a wholly average romantic comedy thing, whatever, holy. And I walked out of it and go, well, that was average. And he was like, that's one of the 10 best movies I've ever seen. And I'm like, what? And probably to this day, probably still thinks that. So I've been there when it's happened the other way, when someone has just been like, Keeping the Faith. And I'm like, are you serious? What on earth?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's an Elfman involved. How could it be that good?
Yeah. Fucking Dharma.
Related to the Forbidden Zone people. Forbidden Zone is because of her.
Yeah.
Or she's because of the Forbidden Zone.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. If time works out right.
Pretty
For sure she was made on the Forbidden Zone set.
Ew.
Yeah. Just saying. Do the math. Lizard people.
Yeah, follow the money. There it is. There it is.
Do we have another email? We kind of
have
forgot about that one.
We have a voicemail,
Oh.
actually.
Shit. All right.
Before we change subjects,
Uh-huh.
really, Sister Act. I'm not kidding.
We didn't think you were.
No, totally. Whatever, dude. Not Sister Act 2?
No,
Back in the
No,
habit?
no connection whatsoever. Scoring that movie.
not as good.
What about Nonsense?
Nuns on the Run.
No.
Yes. Some Nuns on the Run.
All right. Here, voicemail. Let's play it.
Hey, BMFcast, Scott from Dallas here. I know you've been getting a lot of long voicemails recently, so I'll keep it short.
Thanks,
Nice.
Scott.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that.
Yeah. It's a good voicemail.
Be more like Scott, everybody.
Get in, get out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get it done.
You can make time to ask a question or make a suggestion. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, and then give us
Get out.
cause to ramble.
Right.
yeah, like we do.
Yeah. If you want to do that, if you want to give us a call,
Right.
you may do so by calling the Garfield phone.
What?
The BMFcast hotline at 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263.
Huh.
If you want to be like some of our other listeners who sent us emails, you could send us emails to bmf@bmfcast.com.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah. Or you could go to bmfcast.com and look on the right-hand side. There's a bunch of little buttons there. You can click any number of them, and they will take you to social spaces of ours, including YouTube and Facebook.
Wow.
And Twitter.
And Twitter. Even Twitter.
It's crazy.
Who'd have thunk it?
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
I figured I'd mention those since,
Well, we appreciate it. That's
we were-
how people get in contact with us. So
Yeah,
since we were in that
that's why
space
we
already.
call it contact info.
Nice.
It is.
Yeah.
And hey, if you got some time and you use iTunes, go ahead on there and give us a review, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we
It
like
helps.
those. Yeah.
It helps a lot.
Yeah, we want to be new and notable one day.
Yeah. One day.
We've missed out on new.
Oh.
Let's just shoot for notable.
You mean 6 years doing a podcast?
Notable.
What if we start
Is-
the numbering over?
But
Yeah, season
Oh,
2.
we could call it the Bad Movie Fiends.
Yes,
But
exactly.
wait, we've only done 6 years. We have a long form. We have a narrative that we're
Right.
that we're telling.
Still in our
Call
first
it,
act.
Can we call ourselves the Amazing Bad Movie Fiends?
Yes.
Yeah.
Reboot us with
The
different
uncanny.
younger cast.
We can just be
Yes.
B-movie friends or something.
okay.
I thought we were.
we are friends of
Nah.
we are friends of B movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
But movie friends.
Wait, the Seinfeld movie?
Yes.
Friends of B movie.
Anyway,
I wonder if I
you
even
know.
renewed Bad Movie Friends, the domain.
I don't know.
I let the .net go. I was like, if you're using .net, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, except for that,
no quarters.
Except for that other podcast where we didn't have a choice. But I was about to
Yeah.
say that. But yeah,
I know I
Fucking
let
page
bad movie
partners.
hipsters die.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
no.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
sorry.
I've got the Tumblr. It's okay.
Oh, okay, that's right.
That's where all the kids
Oh,
are anyway.
Oh, good. Yes,
Okay,
the Tumblr.
Good.
And speaking of where the kids are, Facebook is not where the kids are. But if you haven't liked our page on Facebook,
Do we need to start a Snapchat? Is that how we're going to connect
I already
with the
have
kids?
one. It's
Probably
all,
a bad
It's all
idea.
my dick.
Well, okay, scratch the Snapchat idea.
I thought that was on a Vine because it's really short.
6 seconds. Boom. All I can get it.
And a movie.
Nice. But anyway, give us a like on the Facebook, or tell your parents to give us a like on the Facebook, because that helps spread our reach. If you like it and like all our posts and shit, it will help us.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're punchy.
Yeah,
Yep.
we are.
We should wrap it up.
We should. Let's get out of here. I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And this is BMFcast out. See you next time, motherfuckers.
And now we get to play the game of what does Chuck cut out of the end?
Everything.
Oh.
Nope. Leave that voicemail
That's right.
in.
Chuck doesn't cut anything.
You don't cut that voicemail.
Chuck cuts nothing.
Nope.
All right. Shutting it all down, folks.
Restarting the entire thing.
No, I'll cut that.
Shutting the whole thing
If I remember.
Goodbye.
Yellow Brick Road.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
You saw Elton John.
I saw Sir.
We're going to talk about that off air. Ha ha.